symbol of the country's rich past and thriving present. Delhi is a city where ancient and modern blend seamlessly together. It is a place that not only touches your pulse but even fastens it to a frantic speed. Just a century ago, the British moved the seat of their empire from Kolkata to Delhi. And it has been the capital of India ever since. Now a thriving cosmopolitan metro, the city has much to celebrate as it has already reached the milestone of completing 100 years as a capital. The story of Delhi city is as old as the epic Mahabharata, when the town was known as Indraprastha, where the Pandavas used to live. Many empires rose to the heights of their power and were destroyed here. Among the prominent dynasties which made Delhi their capital were the Tughlaqs, the Khiljis and the Mughals. Even today, one can have a fascinating glimpse into the past in Old Delhi, with its labyrinth of narrow lanes, old Havelis and colourful bazaars. Rickshaws wind their way through this crowded, bustling capital of the Mughals, where the life continues, much as it did hundreds of years ago. It is home to the 3 World Heritage Monuments, Qutub Minar, the Red Fort, and Humayun's Tomb that has survived many centuries and give an idea of architectural wonders created by emperors in the past. Central Delhi, with its tree-lined avenues, imposing structures and buildings such as the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Parliament House and India Gate, reflect Delhi's colonial past. A number of museums provide a glimpse into the country's fascinating history. Not just the national monuments, Delhi has its share of sporting culture, with the city having hosted the first ever Asian Games in 1982 and most notably the 2010 Commonwealth Games. Many world-class sports events have taken place at the imposing Indira Gandhi Stadium, the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium and the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Delhi Golf Club is another significant landmark in the city, with its own adorable history and renowned for its challenging layout, scenic views, and unique blend of sport and history. Established in 1930s, the Delhi Golf Club transitioned from a struggling municipal course to a prominent corporate entity in 1950. Today, it features the Championship Lodi course and the Peacock course. It is known for its historic setting amidst Mughal ruins like Lal Bangla and the Barakhamba tomb, influencing course design and play. It serves as a social hub for Delhi's elite while hosting major tournaments. This week, the Delhi Golf Club hosts the prestigious 2 crore prize money Vishwa Samudra Open 2025, presented by Kapil Dev.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Delhi Golf Club for the Vishwa Samudra Open. I'm your host, Shaurya Singh, joined alongside my co-host, Rahul Bajaj. It's been a trying week thus far, but pristine conditions. We're back again to the venue that we love so much. It's promised a lot and really delivered thus far. The players are enjoying the conditions, the weather is perfect, and we're really in for a treat this week. And Rahul, what is your take on things thus far? We've seen some high scoring, but of course today we've seen the players really clawing back.
Well, as always, Delhi Golf Club is one of the most brilliant venues to have a golf tournament, and the weather conditions are absolutely brilliant as well for this week. We've got the greens also playing at about 10.3 today on the stimp meter, and they were 10.5 yesterday, so the greens are playing pretty fast. So brilliant conditions out there on the golf course. The course is looking absolutely lush, and the wind is definitely high up there, so that's the one that is providing all the challenge for the players. It's actually tough to control the ball in this high winds, and it's been quite benign thus far on this final day, on this penultimate day. And we have seen that Rashid Khan is trying to make a surge on that leaderboard with 3 under par through the first few holes of the day. And so is Yuvraj Sandhu. So let's see how the day pans out here on.
Yeah, we're also saying that the weather is very genial as well at 22 degrees. You couldn't have asked for a better day for golf. It's the first 2 days were a little harrowing with the players with the wind. We saw that that caused a lot of consternation to majority of the field. But of course, as they say, the cream rises to the top, and that's what happens at Delhi Golf Course. Anytime that you're here, you see that the best ball strikers, the most pedigreed players, they find a way to claw back, and that's what Yuvraj Sandhu. You look at N. Thanga Raja, you look at Rashid Khan, who's been winless for quite a few years, uh, but he's coming back into his own. And a little bit about Thanga Raja as well. Multiple victories already this year. And what's your take on him? I think his game is really suited to this golf course.
If I may, Thangaraja is actually a veteran on the tour, and he's won multiple tournaments. He's one of the finest gentlemen that you would meet, coming in all the way from Sri Lanka. He possesses a game which really suits this golf course. So, I would really look forward to him shooting another a good round today.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think also the way that he shapes the ball from right to left, a subtle draw each and every time, and he's safe as a house. He has a very steady golf swing, and of course he has a good head on his shoulders, and that's something that you require here. It reminds me a little bit of Rudyard Kipling's poem. If when all else are losing their head, if you can keep your head about you, you can really go around here on this golf course, because it's going to try you. This golf course is going to test you, every nook and cranny. You can't take a single hole for granted. I know that. I actually ventured out on Monday just to get a little bit of a feel, and believe me, it's really treacherous out there. It's difficult. It's beautiful conditions, but you have to be very precise of the tee. There's a lot of crosswinds, which unbeknownst to the players, are there. And then of course it's firmer. This time of the year, the golf course rolls a little faster. The greens are slick, as you said, almost close to 11. And with those breaks and the recent changes on the greens, it's proving really difficult for the players.
One of the things about this golf course is that if you were to, one thing is that everyone knows that if you miss the fairway, you're going to have a tough time. But the other thing that people don't really realize is that if you miss the greens over here, with the flag positions that these pros have to battle with, the up and downs are really difficult. So you've got to really have your wedge game on as well, not only your driver game. And certainly the best will rise to the top.
Yeah, I got a little bit of feedback from the players that the pin positions have also been a little spicy, I'll tell you that much. So quite a few pin positions which are inaccessible, and this is one of those golf courses, especially after the relaying of the greens a few years ago, that you have to be in the correct quadrant, even if you have to make par. So it's not just good enough to hit the fairways. Your approach shot really has to be on the money. And we've seen players who've been a little iffy with their approach shots, really having to run through the gauntlet, so as to speak here. And as we talk, we look at the resplendent 18th hole. You can see the greens are surrounded by a considerable amount of rough as well, and the ball sits down.
Absolutely, the ball does sit down just a nudge on these fairways, and does make it difficult for the players to attack these flag locations as the tournament director has placed. And there will be some tough positions out there. We can see them right here on the 18th hole. We can see another tough one there on the 5th hole with these both adjoining greens. And all these things, along with the rough and the wind and the speeds of the green, is going to provide a tough challenge to the players. And as you were mentioning about the wind, which swirls up on top, the thing with the wind is that because of all of the trees over here, the forest cover that exists, the players can't quite find the true winds at the height where they are standing. So the wind really, is above those trees, and tough for the players to feel it at the bottom because it feels like it's swirling in there. So to catch the wrong wind actually is quite easy around here.
Yeah, no doubt. That's definitely been evidenced in the first 2 days. Let's also have a look at the leaderboard. This is the third round. It's called the moving day, and you're seeing that Rashid Khan is making all the right moves. Yuvraj Sandhu, I mean, he's a man. He just carries on. He's like a juggernaut. He just rolls on. Carry on regardless. And then, of course, Akshay Sharma. He's very consistent, based out of Greater Noida. And it's good to see him right up there. You never know. Maybe this is his moment. Manu Gandhas, a proven champion. N. Thanga Raja, your protege, Shaurya Bhattacharya. What a brilliant young man. Viraj Madappa, winner here almost 4 or 5 years ago. And Jairaj Singh Sandhu, the southpaw, he's really been impressive, especially off the tee. MD Sanju, a man that, he's almost a journeyman professional, really good player, has always been in the top 30, 40 ranks, and a very good hit that he possesses on the golf ball. So, it's a jam-packed leaderboard, and it's looking pretty exciting at this point in time.
Well, I think there's this little sprinkle of the veterans on that leaderboard, and some of the big names that we have, the Manu Gandas and the Yuvraj Sandhu, as well as Shaurya Bhattacharya, and all these players, of course, will be battling it out over the course of the next 27 holes, which remain to be played in this golf tournament, and it is definitely going to be a battle out there.
Yeah, you spoke a little bit about experience. I'd be remiss if I don't talk about Mukesh Kumar, the man, the myth, the legend, Mukesh Kumar, with a sublime 3 under par yesterday. So, age is merely a number, but nostalgia definitely is not. He's rolling back the years, and of course, it's nice to see the experience come to the fore here. This is a course where a wily old fox can maybe get it done. Who do you think are your top 3 contenders this week?
Well, it does look tough right now, but I think N. Thangaraja, Yuvraj Sandhu, Shaurya Bhattacharya. I can't really quite count out Jairaj Singh Sandhu at this moment. Neither can I count out Manu Gandas. So if I was to look at top 3, I think it's very difficult for me to say the names right now, but the leaderboard is absolutely packed, and I'm completely geared up for an exciting next 27 holes.
Rahul, I accuse you of playing safe. That is my thing. You have to take a pick, my friend. I know that we got the best in the business here. But if I was to give you a few of my names, I think Rashid Khan is a name that can't be counted out. The plethora of experience and victories he has under his belt. And he's a hungry campaigner. And Yuvraj, of course, the pure pedigree. Masterclass in ball striking. And, of course, I think if I have to go for a third, I'd have to say Thanga. Because he's already won this year, really good off the tee. And that matters here, especially tomorrow when the wind, in the second half of the day, you'll see it on the back nine, the wind will pick up. It's early days still. The wind will pick up and make it rather menacing on the back nine. So those are my 3 picks.
Well, we can already feel the wind kind of picking up onto this day, and it is going to be certainly interesting. I don't think there is a 3-man race right now. I think all of the players in the top 10 right now are very much within contention, and it's going to be a tough challenge. We're only seeing a 4-shot swing between the first and the 10th position at this moment. And I think as the day progresses, things could look very interesting. And of course, Delhi Golf Club has a way of throwing the masala in there.
Yeah, talking about the masala, I think early morning, you think about the wonderful sandwiches that you have on offer here, especially the chicken sandwich for the aficionados of food and all things culinary. Of course, that is far from the player's mind. One thing that we'll see today is that the scoring will be a little better, especially after the cut is applied on day 2, because you see, some of the best players have been able to make the cut, and the third day, the players are able to gauge the conditions better. Especially the greens was something that the players really struggled with in terms of understanding the speed and the variance on each of them.
Well, I think the greens have played very well from day 1 onwards, and players have been really complimenting them. They are tough to read, and as you mentioned earlier, there are some pin positions which are difficult to play. But having said that, they are still enjoying that battle. They say that the greens are rolling beautifully. So even though some of the pin positions are tough and the wind is tough to judge, but still, rolling those putts is an absolute treat out there.
Absolutely. As they say, a rolling stone gathers no moss. So I'm pretty certain the leaders will be looking at that as well. Just roll the rock and hole a few good putts. And for all of our viewers, please stay tuned with us. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of riveting action. And without further ado, let me push it back to our co-commentator, Mr. Shivasnath, in the studio.
Thank you very much, Shaurya and Rahul. And a very warm welcome, of course, to all our viewers from Delhi Golf Club. We're now on the 9th green, the 444-yard par 4. Do not be fooled by the just 444-yard length. This is one heck of a hole, a strong par 4, narrow tee shot. Got to keep it down the middle of the fairway, miss it a bit to the right, and you get a bit stuck behind the 50. And an elevated green with some significant contours, and the pin cut 26 yards from the front and 7 from the left. This is a 38-yard deep green, and as you can see, the pin cut fairly close to the left side. There is a bunker down on the left of the green, a bit of a deep bunker that guards the green on the left, and there's one on the right as well. So this is a green that lends itself beautifully to a lot of interesting pin positions. And of course, as we have found our way to the ninth green, there's a big change in the leaderboard. We had Thangaraja as the front runner after round 2, which we actually concluded this morning, owing to bad light, and that's typically expected in Delhi in the month of December. And Rashid Khan has moved to 6 under, 2 ahead of the pack after 8 holes, and he's at 4 under par for the day today. Yuvraj Sandhu has moved up to the 2nd place. He is at 4 under for the tournament and 2 under for the day today as well, also after 8 holes. And overnight leader Thangaraja struggling a bit. 2-0 for the day after 7, and obviously owing to that he's dropped from 5 under par, which was of course his overnight lead, to now 3 under par. Viraj Madappa also in the final group at par for the day and 2 under for the tournament, along with of course Jairaj. And that, of course, as you see Manu Gandas on screen. That's a new graphic that the PGTI production team has added on. Makes it easy for all our viewers to identify their favorite golfers. And it certainly helps us in the commentary box as well, because all these wonderfully athletic golfers sometimes end up wearing very similar color combinations, and it can confuse us a little bit. So great work to our production head, Vivek, and his team. It's always nice to see new features being added on. That makes it a delight for our viewers and of course ourselves. So back to the 9th green. This putt from Manu should typically move a bit from the left to the right. As you can see, there's an elevation like a shoulder on the left side of the green, which is of course from the side where the player is facing the green. And yes, this should move a bit left to right. He needs to get his pace correct, and he's got to navigate the slope from the left shoulder. That's a good looking roll. The green's stimping today at 10.2. There we have it. It rolls down about a couple of feet away. Manu has a very, very, calm, collected, smooth putting stroke. Body stays still. Head also absolutely still. Smooth, measured acceleration through the putting stroke, and there you have it. So Manu, of course, playing alongside Shaurya Bhattacharya and Stepan Danek. A very nice clear visual of the 9th hole there, and on the left side of your screen, well, now in the middle, you see that deep bunker that I was inferring to, where you have actually Shaurya Bhattacharya again on screen. And that's a bunker that actually catches a lot of folks on the pin is cut on the right side when they go, as we call it, flag hunting. Course in wonderful condition for the Delhi winters. Of course, the winters have just started and is going to be fairly brutal as we move along. Early this morning when I woke up a few hours, that was a great putt from Shaurya, almost made it. And that's of course knock and par. And we have now my co-commentator, young debonair Shaurya Singh, in the booth with us. Here's a replay. Ball tracking towards the flag. It knocks the flag. Shaurya, would it have actually dropped in if the flag wasn't there? The permanent debate. Have the flag in or have the flag out?
I think first of all, I must say thank you for those wonderful words. It's great to have friends like you who make one feel good. So
you're always welcome, Shaurya. It's a mutual relationship. I hope you know that.
Mutual admiration society, that's what we call it. That's important. But coming back to that putt, I thought it was mostly good luck because it had a lot of speed on it, but it just depends on how you look at your cup, half full or half empty. That did have considerable speed on it, as you have a look at Stepan here.
That's a good putt. No mistake there. We saw Stepan last evening enjoying some of the Indian hospitality on the gorgeous lawns of Delhi Golf Club at the members' evening. It was a wonderful evening that the PGTI actually hosted. And he was there, of course, mixing around with some friends and some members. Very good ambassador for the sport, I must say, and for his country.
Yes, absolutely. As we have a look at Manu here on the green, it's been interesting this week. Quite dissimilar to the ones that we had previously. It's been a high-scoring week. This is a golf course that, of course, especially after relaying, which was done, I think, almost 5 years ago, it's proven a formidable challenge, and especially this time of year, The weather is perfect, but what it does is that the grass gets a little burnt almost, so as to speak. It becomes a lot faster, so it becomes a lot quicker. The greens become really slick. This week rolling at 10.5 as we have a look at hole number 9, so it makes it very difficult if you get the wrong line to hold putts. And of course the fairways are rolling fast as well. So
Fast and hard, yes, indeed.
what that does is that the ball, if you don't hit it well, has a chance of rolling into the bush, and the wind is up. So beautiful conditions, but I would say the toughest time of year to try and shoot under par.
No, I would agree with you. And in fact, I would say this. While of course the fairways are hard and firm, the rough is actually fairly dense. So the score setup is actually doing the players a favor, because a lot of shots that are slightly off would actually find their way into the jharis.
Yeah, but the rough also not that easy to extricate from. We've seen the rough; it's considerable, and what it does is sort of makes it difficult for the players to get the club there. And even if you do get a lie, you get those terrible flyers from
Jumpers.
there where you can't quite control it. And but it's making for some beautiful viewing.
So, of course, some good news for our viewers, and it's going to be a bit of suspense. There is a big announcement that's going to be coming out from the Professional Golf Tour of India, and stay tuned. You never know when it's going to flash on the screen. And believe me, when we say this on behalf of PGTI, it is a big announcement that's going to be awesome for the growth of Indian golf.
Yes, of course, suspense, a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of drama, and it's not just the golf on screen. As we go back to looking at the action.
Hole number 10, and one of my favorite holes on this course, unless I'm, of course, on the left side of the green. Do I represent your sentiments as well, Shaurya? Because that's one heck of an up and down with the elevated ridges from the left side of the green.
If you miss the green here, frankly, anywhere, even short, you really have to get lucky and make an up and in. Otherwise, the whole complexion of this hole has changed. I think a lot of the players would be going with the 3-wood off the tee and maybe getting something like an 8-iron for their second shot. So you're coming in here with a fairly comfortable shorter iron, but the green is elevated, almost a turtle back sort of a green, so that makes it a lot more difficult. And if it plays into the wind, then you can even get a 6-iron, maybe even a 5-iron at times. So of course it's become a lot more difficult.
But this, of course, that said and done, is one of the wider fairways on this course. So we do see a lot of guys even taking a bit of a whirl with the driver occasionally.
Yeah, I'm not quite certain this week if I've seen too many drivers. Driver is a club that players are opting to leave back in the hotel room or their house if they're based from Delhi. Have a look at this. It's just going with the 2-iron here.
Yes, absolutely right, because I think this would be a great asset on the hard, firm, running fairways.
Yeah, I would think this is a definite club that you require here.
And I must say there's the production team, Vishwa Samudra, really pumping it up this week. The floor graphics with the Vishwa Samudra decal in the center of the 10th tee.
And
pretty impressive.
And that was a pretty impressive shot right there.
Ah, the driver. The driver's out. Someone to make me feel good about this.
Oh, this is really taking the bull by the horns. I'm surprised to see this play, to be honest. It seems like very assertive, aggressive play. Shows you his mindset. He's 3 under par and going with the driver, so I think kudos to him. He definitely has the intestinal fortitude to take a driver on in this golf course.
It's such a confidence thing, isn't it, Shaurya? The momentum, the mindset. And particularly on a course like this, which can be very penal. If you are slightly off, it magnifies itself.
So here in the center of the tee. Let's see how he does. That's what you like to see. That's an aggressive swing.
And he's staring it down.
And that tells you a lot about his mindset. You need to be aggressive. You need to be committed to the shot that you're hitting. So he's happy with that. Now, Shaurya going with the more prudent approach again with the driving iron. So you see, it's even 3-woods are few and far in between here. So
right.
A driver is really a rarity, I'll tell you that much. Very good swing that he possesses. Very languid, smooth through the ball.
Very smooth, yes, indeed.
And
indeed.
Each and every time he's able to hold his finish. And that's something that I find really impressive in his game. And I think he's the kind of player whose game lends itself really well here to Delhi Golf Club.
He's a very solid player. Absolutely no question about that.
Let's have a look at those lines.
Oh, he's hit a zipper. He's really wanting that to charge down the fairway.
Yeah, that's the shot to hit. You wanted to pitch here and just
And
bound
it's
on.
flying. Look at that. Absolutely wonderful.
So Vishwa Samudra, challenge it, change it. Unless you challenge yourself, you're not going to change. So
Back to the ninth green and the left to right putt from below the cup.
we've just gotten an update. Rashid Khan has made another birdie, so he moves to 6 under par. So not wasting much time here. 4 under par. Rashid is
He's certainly on a bit of a tear today, and you know he's left the folks in the leader group of a bit in his wake. Yuvraj Sandhu also 2 under for today, and Akshay Sharma also 2 under for the today, along with Manu Gandas. Thangaraja, of course, 2 over, so he's certainly given up some ground, as well as, of course, his position as overnight leader, and Viraj chugging along at par for the day and still at 2 under for the tournament, along with Jairaj Singh Sandhu, who was, in fact, our first round leader, and they're all bunched at 2 under par.
yeah, Jairaj Sandhu.
Mohammad Sanju, though, again tearing it up, 6 under for the day and having moved up to 2 under for the tournament. So there's obviously something out there that he's finding that the leaders are struggling with.
Yeah, MD Sanju, a player from Kolkata, a veteran professional. As you have a look at Rashid Khan here on hole number 9, one of the most difficult holes here at the Delhi Golf Club.
Yep.
Narrow fairway.
444-yard beast, as we would call it. It's taken its toll on several golfers over the years.
Yeah, not Rashid, as he comes up here with his putt, and that you can see he's really under control. His speed control is immaculate. Very comfortable distance there, about 2.5, 3 feet for his par.
And, you were so right, Shaurya, about the fact that the fairways, of course, are firm, and that's very visible. And the greens, of course, at 10.2 on the stimp, because as you mentioned, winter grass, it kind of gets a little more sparse, so the speed automatically increases. And you can see that from the visuals. It does get to be a slightly duller version of green, and
Almost links golf-esque with the difficulty on either side. To have those lovely compact fairways, it's
Yes.
a real joy to be hitting irons from this turf.
And here we also see on our screen in the lovely vibrant blue trousers Dhruv Sheeran, who was recently in Japan playing the Q School for the tour, and he was in fact a low Indian golfer at the DP World Championships, which was played in New Delhi a couple of months ago on this very golf course.
He played really well that week. So it seems like this is soon turning into his favorite hunting ground.
Interesting choice of club. He's got a putter in his hand from behind the green, and that again, just kind of further
Let's
talks about the fact that there's the growth of the grass is a little bit sparse, right, Shaurya?
also that when it grows against you, you're not quite certain that I think he's just sort of going
what
through the
he's doing.
motions waiting for his putt. But
looks like that. Yes,
but
indeed.
a lot of players you'll see they will go with the putter from off the green because that's the more comfortable choice at times because it's a little tight
Indeed.
and not much room. As you have a look at this putt for Yuvraj, which will break right towards the end on to the right hand side, as we saw Rashid's putt just snake away.
Has he given it enough? Oh, just
What an absolute beauty!
Just about. I think the last bite of toast at breakfast that ensured that ball rolled in. We're going to be going on a bit of a commercial break now after this replay. Solid, steady, and Yuvraj had just enough. See him now moving his head, hoping and praying that that ball had enough juice to get in.
Now,
Commercial break.
yeah, after this putt, we'll go into a short commercial break, and then my co-commentator Rahul Bajaj will be here in the booth while we have a look at Dhruv Sheeran's putt.
Yes, you're right, Shaurya, that he was just going through his motions and developing a little feel for the visuals from behind the green. And this young man certainly has a bright future. This one should move a little bit from the right to the left, slightly uphill as well. That's a good looking stroke. No, it flattered to deceive. He saw it as well, moving right to left, and it just didn't come back enough. Missed it on the right side. And there we have Rashid on screen now, 2.5 feet away, all set to clean up for his par and remain solo leader at 6 under, 2 ahead of the chasing pack. It's good to see Rashid back at the top of the leaderboard. It's been a while.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
I'm sorry sir, my mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है। मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है, जिद क्या बावाली, जिद क्या बावाली, जिद क्या बावाली, जिद।
And now we have Yuvraj Sandhu standing on the 10th tee, 420-yard par 4. And along with Yuvraj being on the 10th tee, let me welcome back young Rahul Bajaj, who will join me as Shaurya has taken a coffee break. Wonder what kind of coffee Shaurya is going to have. Cappuccino, black?
Well, great to be back here with you, Shivas. And for our viewers, Yuvraj Sandhu on the tee now, and he's had a bogey-free front nine. And if you just saw him knocking some grass up there onto that tee box, that's because lots of players like to kind of have, just a little bit of knock of the grass so that they can actually cover the ball up very well, or with a fairway wood or a 2-iron. And as I give you that little piece of information, Yuvraj just about slightly misses the fairway onto the left side on the 10th. And may I now welcome the tournament director, Mr. Sampat Chari, who has come and given us some of his precious time here in the commentary box. And I'm glad to know that it's glad to know that the players aren't really causing much of a havoc out there on the golf course, Mr. Chari, and that's the reason that we can have you in here. Are you going to put us on the clock as well? Mr. Chari has been the tournament director here on the PGTI of India for eons, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here, sir. And thanks for joining us. Mr. Chari, what do you think? How is the course playing this week? What do you think about the course, the conditions out there? And of course, a little bit I would like to hear today from you about the journey that you have had on the tour, and been such an important part of professional golf for all these years.
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks for having me out here. It's a great pleasure being here and watching you guys do commentary. I just said I must come. It's fabulous. Coming back, it's fantastic. I was here for the DP World Tour just a couple of months back, and we've got a pretty much a similar setup, like what we had for the DP World Cup. And unfortunately, the greens, they're not as good as they were during the DP World Cup. But it's a stiff challenge for the players. That's why the scores are what they are. A little on the drier side now, a little bit of less grass on the greens. It's quite true and running fast, so people are finding it difficult to stop the ball out there. Otherwise, even in this kind of time of winter, we're not playing preferred lies, which makes things that much more difficult. And it's been great to be at the Delhi Golf Club. A lot of help from the club staff. They're giving, knowing them for such a long period of time, they do wonders for me. And talking about my little journey, it's a short journey. Been at it for about 27 years now, and I'm enjoying what I do. That's why I'm here, and I'm just glad to inform you that one of the reasons that I am here, is that the players appreciate what I do. They like to see me around, so that encourages me even more, and that's why I'm here.
Tell me something. Over the years, what are the kind of changes that you have seen in professional golf? Of course, there's been lots and lots of changes over the years, but you've really had the best view of it.
The most important thing, I think, is the fitness level that's come in now. People really realize now that there is a tremendous career opportunity in golf. The money has grown tenfold from what it was to what it is now. And apart from that, apart from the physical fitness, people have got their own coaches. They've got their own, rhythms to go through, their own set patterns of hard work. They realize that hard work is what really pays now. So they are spending much more time working on the game. The equipment has changed a hell of a lot from what it used to be to what it is now. And they are working extremely hard. And everybody is not just looking at it from the point of view of making money on the PGTI tour. They all want to go out and play out. They want to show that they're as good as the others. So when you get good golf courses like the Delhi Golf Club or the DLF or KGA, we've been very, very fortunate in the last couple of events. About the 10, 12 events that we've played in the recent past, they've all been very good golf courses, fabulous condition, and that's what the players want. They said, "Sir, give us golf courses like this and see our game."
That's amazing to hear. And of course, would you also say that the pace of play has improved tremendously over the years?
Pace of play, it's a universal problem all over the world, wherever you play golf. And I must tell you that, yes, we have improved, but it's a continuous process, it doesn't stop. You have to keep on doing it, because every golfer who plays out there thinks he's damn quick. It's the other guy who's slow. You go and catch a group and they tell you, I am damn quick, that guy is slow, that guy is slow. So we got to educate people, tell them what it is. Education is very, very important in these kind of matters. Simple matters like etiquette, etc. People tend to forget. Being a professional game, they are so motivated and so high on whatever they're doing. They forget small things. That's why they keep throwing clubs and stuff like that, which normally never happens. They do it more out of frustration, more out of anger. But then they realize, once you talk to them, tell them, yes, sir, we know.
So about 30 to 35 weeks of travel for you through the year, Mr. Chari, and how do you keep up with that kind of travel? It's been 27 years that you've been doing this. I think 35 weeks would be a pretty nominal amount to think of that you travel each year.
This year has been amazing. We've done almost about, I think, 15 or 16 events in a row. And what really is the problem in these kind of times is, you don't get much time to really work at the golf course like you want to set it up. And unfortunately, what's happened is that in our country, we have, thanks to the IGU now, they are promoting people doing referees golf courses, referee rules courses. We've got a lot of more people doing their level 3. They also realize now that, being a referee is not only a good time pass, but it's great to earn some money from there also. So because of that, we lack pretty much on how to set up a golf course for good golf tournaments. That's where the stress comes in, because when it comes to one guy doing everything, then it becomes a little difficult.
But as the opportunities grow and the number of referees keep growing due to the R&A and the IGU's initiative of doing the rules courses, we are bound to see a little bit of change in that, right? And of course, there are so many people who work alongside you in these tournaments, and they get the first-hand knowledge and the idea of how to set it up. So in the future, they can also go ahead and try to put their best foot forward in that domain.
They can, but I have tremendous competition from these golf club leagues, So people run away doing leagues, and the league occupies a lot of time. It goes on for a month or 2 months. And when I have my tournaments, they're not to be seen. But they are very, very helpful whenever they are around.
And of course, a good problem to have, right? In the way the game is growing today with the leagues, as well as alongside what the PGTI is doing, along with the amateur and the junior circuits that is growing. So of course, that's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's just no time to do whatever you're doing. So the number of events, number of tournaments, etc. that have been happening. I mean, week in and week out, you have some kind of a national competition, It's either at the junior level, the sub-junior level, the ladies, the girls, the boys, the IGU tour, and then we are, of course, there. So it's very good, a very, very healthy competition.
Lovely. So things are going from strength to strength for Indian golf. Things are growing. We have a lot of international tournaments coming in. Junior golf is growing tremendously. So all in all, the game is definitely benefiting. Thank you so much, Mr. Chari,
Pleasure,
for
sir.
joining us here in the Combox, and hopefully we'll see some more of you, in the coming days.
Thank you so much. But I must tell you one thing before I leave, that the likes of Rory McIlroy coming into our country, it's not that just because Rory is a big name, golf is going to grow. The fact that people like him are coming here, they realize that golf is another destination in India, and good golfing destination, a good professional destination, and I think he's committed to play out here for another couple of years. So that speaks volumes.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us
a
here,
lot.
Mr.
Thank
Chari.
you very much. All the best, gentlemen.
I'm joined back by the man from Mumbai, Shivasnath, the
That's
only
also-
man from Mumbai who is famous enough as much as Vada Pav is. Welcome back, Shivas.
Yep, I
And a
love
great
that
conversation.
introduction. I
Great.
miss that always, Rahul. Two important things, big things that come out of Mumbai. Vada Pav and Shavasnath. Doesn't get better.
And it's a first look now at N. Thangaraja for the day. Already 3 wins this season, 2025 for him. Let's take a look at his 5-footer here.
This one should be a bit on the quicker side. And as Sampath was alluding, greens are rolling a little quicker. Owing to the winter, the density of the grass has dropped a bit, and that makes for the greens to be quicker and the fairways to be firmer.
Well, brilliant firm putt here by Thanga. As we are now here on to the 10th green, we have the group of Rashid Khan, Stepan, as well as Yuvraj Sandhu, who's here.
So that was wonderful, Rahul, having Sampath here with us in the commentary box. And I must say, those are some wonderful questions that you did ask him, because that's something that viewers would love to hear from the man himself, who's a permanent feature since, 2+ decades on the PGTI and has oodles and oodles of experience and knowledge.
100%, is one of the most affable gentlemen out there as well, and has so much of knowledge about the game of golf. And there seems like a bit of a traffic jam here on the 10th hole, as Stepan Danek is actually playing in the group ahead. So I think Dhruv Shoran, Yuvraj Sandhu and Rashid Khan, who are playing together, they're just waiting for him to clear off the green, as Shaurya Bhattacharya and Manu Gandas wait just on the 11th tee box now.
He's given that putt some juice.
A brilliant
Still
camera
left it a
work
bit
there.
short there as well. Seems to be a good 3 feet away.
Green's rolling at 10.3, and it's tough to keep up greens in these weather conditions here in Delhi through the winters. And of course, the Delhi Golf Club doing a brilliant job of that. And one of the lot of traffic that comes through this course, so it's very tough for the greenskeepers also to keep up these kind of conditions. They've done an absolutely phenomenal job.
And of course, again, once more, to give our viewers a little bit of a teaser, there's a big announcement being made by the PGTI, which is going to be out soon in the public domain. But stay tuned, and I can assure you that this is going to be big for Indian golf, the growth of Indian golf, and we can't wait to hear it ourselves.
Of course, absolutely exciting times ahead, and please brace yourselves, because this one is going to be big. Stepan Danek.
This again looks like one of those counterbalance putters, Rahul. It's becoming very popular. The zero torque and the counterbalance in combination or separately.
Jairaj Sandhu on the 10th tee box. Well, going back to those putters that you were mentioning a little while earlier, I think the counterbalance putter sort of came in about 5 or 6 years ago onto the tour, and a lot of guys were playing with it. And I think there's a fine reason why I think that the counterbalance putters work very well. The zero torque putters, though, I'm a little skeptic about them.
Well, I kind of moved to one of those zero torque. I'm a bit of a putting nerd. Well, and I think you know the answer why. That's the only reason to keep changing putters. And I've kind of moved to a zero torque putter, and I would say in the last decade, that's probably the longest staying club in my bag. I've had it since early 2023. and I'm actually a believer. It's I found it very helpful.
There we have N. Thangaraja. Nice, sweet little swing there. And of course, that ball will be in good shape, just in the left rough. The rough isn't too thick, but it gets difficult for the ball to get controlled from there. You can't quite judge the spin coming in from the rough here. And with the greens playing firm and fast, that makes it even tougher. Viraj Madappa now on the tee box. Viraj currently has turned after 9 holes at even par. 2 bogeys on that front 9 and 2 birdies on the par 5s. 2 under par for the tournament currently. 4 shots away from our leader, Rashid Khan.
He's a strong young man. He had a bit of more than a bit of an injury scare a couple of seasons ago, but it's good to see him having worked through and back on the tour.
Well, having said that, Viraj has actually gone through injuries. He's gone through some swing changes, and now coming back onto the tour and still putting his best foot forward is really putting up some good performances.
Very hardworking young man, must say. So of course now we're on the 10th tee, and with where we saw Thangaraja finish with his tee ball, he's going to have pretty much ruled out the left side of flag hunting, because there's the ridge. He's going to come out of the rough. There's not going to be that much spin. He's probably going to have to hit it center green, I guess.
Yes, I think that'll be also more prudent with this flag location. Definitely attacking the flag is out of question. Let's take a look now at Dhruv. Dhruv's coming up with a putt from nearly about 35 feet away for a birdie.
I'm personally a big fan of Dhruv. He's a very pleasant young man, very hard-working golfer as well. And I like the fact that he took off to Japan to play Q school there, and test his growth, or not test his growth, I beg your pardon, but really grow his skills and test himself against some of the best in the business.
In fact, he went through the first 2 stages of qualifying and was able to get through those, and the third stage unfortunately wasn't very friendly to him, so he couldn't get past the third one. In fact, there are 4 stages of qualifying in Japan, and they are very grueling. And what the fun fact here also is that once you start playing the qualifyings in Japan, which start around November, as the weeks go by, which means one stage to the other, the weather conditions also become colder every time that you go back. So you're not only contending with a bigger, better field, but you're also contending with new weather conditions. Because we here don't see golf being played in that cold weather conditions. Rashid Khan, 11 birdies this week, coming up here onto the 10th hole. A prudent second shot here for him.
Well, Rashid knows this course fairly well. I mean, he's spent a lot of time here during his growing years. He owes a lot to Delhi Golf Club in terms of the support he's got. And of course, now we have Shaurya coming back after his little break. And while I sign off for my break, we hope Shaurya will tell us and our viewers what he's been up to. Come on in, Shaurya, and Rahul, make sure you keep him in check.
So, some of the coolest things that are happening over here, the 2 guys on top of the leaderboard, Rashid as well as Yuvraj, who are, here playing together. They're actually playing bogey-free through the front 9. Rashid with 4 birdies on that front 9, and Yuvraj with 3 birdies. So, only 1 shot apart, 6 under and 5 under respectively. So an interesting day, Shaurya, as we had thought of, and of course there'll be many more interesting holes out there. We've got 9 remaining from the day today, and another 18 tomorrow. So lots and lots of birdies to be made, and of course it's not easy on this course to go bogey free.
Yeah, first off, thanks to Shivas for that changeover. He's entertaining as always, and saw some of these players on screen, and your point about scoring, it's been a different kind of week this time. Very challenging, but it's at least nice to see that on the 3rd day we're seeing the players get into red numbers. Rashid, of course, looks as the front runner this time, but of course you can't quite count Yuvraj Sandhu out, who we see on the green. 10 birdies this week. That's quite a bit, I tell you. It's he has a penchant for making a lot of birdies. I think he's also one of the top players in so far as the Eagles are concerned this year. And having played here earlier this week, I can tell you this golf course right now, you require to really put a good hit on the ball of the tee, and he does that aplenty.
I think one thing that really strikes out for me about Yuvraj is the way he hits the putt. He gives them everything, and that's what I think gets him all the birdies that he gets. There we have him rolling another one in from about 6 feet away, and the way he goes about his business on the putting green is what stands out for me. I know that you like the way he strikes the ball, but I'm actually a bigger fan of his putting than I am of his ball striking.
Yeah, I think it lends itself well from the long game to the short game. If you can hit a lot of greens, it makes it a lot easier for you to putt. You don't have that sort of built up of stress. As we have a look at Dhruv, who I also have great fondness for the way, especially that he hits the ball. Again, it's one of those players who has good ball speed. Like if you see him on the range, it seems, I don't know, maybe it's just a visual effect. It seems that the ball takes off faster. It's sort of that ball flight that is a little flatter and quicker through the air.
You know, so I've had the privilege of sort of spending some time with Dhruv on the driving range over the past couple of months, and he can really take out some ball speeds, as you were mentioning. We have him putting for par and rolls that one in, no trouble. And he does definitely take out some ball speeds with his clubs, and he can hit his 7-iron to nearly about 190, 200 yards. So that's a big fly yardage for a standard 7-iron. He plays with a set of blades, and with playing with blades and shooting those kind of numbers with a 7-iron, that's quite big.
Yeah, so he's got that speed, and I think that kind of a flight really lends itself well, and that's why you saw him perform. He was the best Indian performer at the DP World event here, where I think he was 9 under for the week, if I'm not wrong. So it just shows you that if you have good ball striking, even on an intimidating setup like the Delhi Golf Club this week, you can sort of get around, without using smoke and mirrors.
We are now on the 14th green. The 14th is a par 5 here at the Delhi Golf Club. Pretty straightforward par 5, as you can tell. You can see the little gumbad there in the background. That's where the tee box is, and that there is the clubhouse at the Delhi Golf Club. Beautiful views here of the 5th green there and the 18th. Both greens are joined here in the middle.
See, this week, the title race as well, that is keenly contested. I think Yuvraj currently about 31 and a few thousand ahead of 31 lakh and a few thousand ahead of Shaurya Bhattacharya. Arjun Prasad, unfortunately not making the weekend rounds. Of course, he won't be adding to his tally. And the way that Yuvraj is playing, it looks pretty much done and dusted, you'd say?
Well, I think that there's still a lot of golf to be played. There's about 5 crores still to be played for. We've got 2 crores this week. You have Sidco, which is the next week in Kharghar, a new golf course. So pretty much like a very even field next week. There are no favorites, right? And then we also have another 2 crore event, the Tata Open at Jamshedpur. So I don't think it's quite over. Gap definitely a lot.
Yeah, it's quite the mountain to climb. Shaurya would need to have at least a top 3 finish this week, a bare minimum, and try and beat Yuvraj. As you have a look at Viraj here at hole number 10, try to hit a draw to this flag should be the ideal shot shape. And not quite certain where that has ended, but he's hit quite a big tee shot, mind you. That's ahead of that bump, which is at about 310 yards off the tee.
And he's only hit a hybrid from the tee box. So
shows you how far he's hitting it, and able to put that running draw on it with some speed. As we have a look at
Jairaj Sandhu coming up from a similar location, maybe just a couple of yards ahead of where Viraj hit it off from. And here we are now quickly on to the 11th hole. Stepan Danik stepping into that bunker on the left side of the green.
Yeah, a little bit of tongue twister by you. Stepping into the bunker, yeah, on the left-hand side. Missing these greens in the bunker somehow is a little easier than chipping from off them. They're very difficult to try and get up and down, and the kind of lies you're getting this week, very tight fairways, almost links golf-esque, so you need perfect contact. Let's see how he does from the bunker. Has engaged it really well, mind you. So really good bunker shot, and we'll get a read from the playing partner as well over there. So seems like all is going well for Stepan at this point in time.
Well, definitely a brilliant shot here by Stepan Danik, and I think you're absolutely right. Coming in from the bunker is probably going to be easier. You're going to be able to judge the shot a lot better than coming off from any of these slopes on the sides of the greens. Those chip shots are pretty tough. And as you said, you played here on just this last Monday. You plenty much would know what slopes I'm talking about. Well, the ball just kind of runs off and then puts you down in a position where it's quite tough to even get that lob wedge under the ball.
Yeah, you tend to see you'll probably see a lot of players going with the putter from off the green because that seems like the safer choice. Looking at Manu here on screen, I was pretty surprised he took driver on hole number 10. One of the only players that I've seen taking out driver. Shows you that he has a lot of confidence with the long stick. What's your take on that, going with the driver on hole number 10?
Well, there are lots of players who do that. They hit drivers on hole number 10. Some of them hit drivers on 14, 18, as well as hole number 3. So there's plenty of players out there who do play the driver on this golf course. But yes, mind you, it does not come without its risks. But if you can hit it well and down the fairway, you're definitely going to be at an advantage.
Yeah, risky territory. You can see him sort of going through the motions with that swing.
It also kind of comes down to the fact, Shaurya, that no guts, no glory kind of scenario. So players do have to be fairly aggressive. Although at this venue, usually players would be more aggressive from the fairway than from the tee box. But then, of course, there are some like Manu who can be more aggressive from the tee as well.
Yeah, this week he's going with just. I was thinking he's going to chip it. This is really interesting. Now, this is what makes for great viewership. Of course, not if you're a greenskeeper. Mind you, he'll have to replace the divot. But I'm very intrigued to see this. This is probably the first time that we're seeing this on the PGTI. I can't quite recollect that. I can barely keep my excitement to myself having a look at this chip shot.
Well, he better nip this one. He's got to drop this absolutely perfectly with a little bit of spin. Plenty full of spin actually. And he's done brilliantly. What a golf shot here by Manu Gandas.
Just shows you that he's got immaculate touch, and there's not much grass at this point in time in the winters, and he's just nipped it from there. What an absolute beauty. Look at that. That looked really good. And that takes a lot of bravado, mind you. If lesser mortals are to try that, they might find themselves on the other side, missing the green and chipping again.
I definitely don't think anyone should try that. But having said that, he's played it brilliantly. And from the release of that golf ball, once it spun on the surface, you could tell that if he played the putter, he would be probably putting back from about 10 or 15 feet ahead of the hole.
So, but I was surprised, nevertheless, that but he executed it really well, though.
And there we've got now Manu, who's about 6 or 7 feet past the hole, and we've got Stepan Danik as well as Shaurya Bhattacharya, pretty much up close and personal.
Yes, if he were to have hit a putt, it wouldn't have stopped less than 10 feet. So I would say spicy pin position.
I think, yes, absolutely a spicy pin position. Although if you were to, sort of keep it on the bottom tier, it is definitely an attackable pin position as well. Manu actually ended up hitting it on the top tier, which made it tougher for him to do that. Let's take a look at him now trying to make this par putt.
Yeah, now that let's see if that choice indeed will pay off. This should be a right-in putt, fairly straightforward. Really well done. So does that count as a chip and putt?
Well, it won't really count as a chip and putt on that stat book, but certainly he's really done well from there. In fact, not only is picking up that club one thing, but actually backing it up post that, which he's done beautifully.
It's really well done. Shows that he's really on top and in control.
This putt breaks a lot from the left to the right. You're looking at nearly a cup of a break from the left to the right. About 4 to 4.5 inches of break easily.
These are the kind of putts that really put you in a spot of bother. You're not certain if you hit it firm or die it in. Very difficult to hold these, and he's done that with ease. And I think Shaurya would have been helped by that read.
Absolutely.
But that looked rather assertive. He didn't quite die it in. He was a little on the firmer side.
Yeah, I think what you're referring to is probably that he was assertive with the way he hit the putt. I think the speed of the putts pretty much was still on the dying side, and I think he did phenomenally. He held it absolutely from the correct door, slightly towards the left of the hole, so holding it from the high side. Let's see if Shaurya can follow suit.
Really well done by him. You see the confidence in that swing.
So now take a
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद कैंपा वाली जिद है जिद कैंपा वाली जिद है जिद कैंपा वाली जिद
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for?
अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Back to the action, and we're at hole number 10. We saw the leader, the secondary leader, Jairaj Singh Sandhu, currently leading the tournament. Rashid Khan is going along really well at 6 under par. Jairaj here with a left to right putt, and has he made it? Missed it on the high side. Little flummoxed by how that didn't quite break.
Well, Jairaj not quite having the start he would have wanted here on this moving day. Although one player who is definitely having the kind of day that he would have liked here is Mohammad Sanju, coming up with 4 birdies on that back nine where he started from, and an eagle, a hole out second shot on hole number 2, and a lone bogey on hole number 5 is what he got today, and currently at 5 under for the day, and has gotten into the top 10 now with 1 under par total score.
You know, I really like his game. I don't know if you've had the opportunity of playing with him, as you have a look at Viraj here, cleaning up. I've had the opportunity of playing with him quite a few times, and he's a really good iron striker. Puts a good hit on it. The ball doesn't move at all, and not the longest off the tee, but average length, but very good with those irons, and that's why you're seeing him reap the rewards.
It really does compress the ball.
Yes.
Mohammad Sanju, he hits a little bit of a, like a press cut, so he kind of traps it a little bit with his club and hits a cut. Beautiful shot.
And they're walking down on hole number 11. Not many players would hit a 3-wood off this tee. I think that the club of choice would definitely be a rescue.
Yes, I think most players are trying to leave themselves at about 230 to 240 yards off the tee box, and thereafter they'll have somewhat of about 170 odd yards left to the green from there.
I'd also like to welcome our viewers and introduce ourselves. I am your host Shaurya Singh alongside Rahul Bajaj, and we bring to you the penultimate day of the Vishwa Samudra Open here from resplendid Delhi Golf Club.
A hearty welcome to all of you who are viewing this tournament live on YouTube. This is one of the best venues in the country, and what a fine golf course for the players to be competing over here today. And this is the Vishwa Samudra Open, one of the finest golf tournaments that you see here happening in India.
Yes, so if more of you want to come and watch this, you can find us on online, and there are tickets there, and for all the others you can find for the professional golfers, of course, it's free, and the very nominal charges. Come and watch the best of players, and of course, you have this tournament hosted by none other than the legend, Mr. Kapil Dev. So you maybe have an opportunity to get an autograph as well.
And Rashid Khan here, who has missed the green on the 11th hole, coming in from that left bunker. Let's see if he can keep that scorecard clean. He's 4 under par currently on his final round, on his penultimate round, my apologies.
Sorry to I expect this shot to be a little different from the one that Shaurya hit. This will have a lot more spin. He's a little aggressive from the bunkers. Look at that, coming on a lot higher. He's indeed an aggressive player, is Rashid Khan.
I think beautifully judged. There is this little run in the ball once it hits the dance floor, and to judge that also is one skill. It only comes with experience and practice, and I think that's what the practice rounds are for, to understand these things, and they're doing beautifully. I think Stepan Danik also showcased really brilliant understanding of the green there. Let's take a look at Dhruv Shoran.
I think my understanding also of this course, now that I feel played a few rounds here, is that you can't quite play safe when you're hitting a second shot. So if you miss the green, chip shots are not easy, so you're better off maybe just going for the flag or whatever position that you're going for and miss it in the bunker.
100%. Now Dhruv has left himself in a tough spot, done beautifully with that third shot from the bunker. Beautifully judged.
So I would say that these players are they're playing well and they're going for it, and maybe that's the reason that they are in red numbers. If you try to sort of put your foot off the gas, that doesn't quite work here.
Yes, absolutely. That was a brilliant shot there by Dhruv from the right bunker here on the 11th hole, and absolutely right. You can't miss greens over here. I'm not quite sure how aggressive you can be, because on the low side, if you miss it, it's really tough up and down on this golf course. But having said that, hitting it on the green is certainly important, but also hitting it in the right places while we speak of that, because as you saw on this very hole just a few moments ago, Manu Gandas actually ended up missing it on the wrong side and had to be using his wedge, and mind you, that's no easy job to do. I'm pretty sure none of you would be wanting to use a wedge from the green. Those are really tough shots. You've got to nip it from the turf and create ample amount of spin in no space whatsoever.
You look at that, 5 victories this season. That's probably that's a stat that people don't get in their entire careers, and that's just this season for this marvelous player.
That's absolutely commendable, Shaurya. The way he's playing week after week, he is right up there every week here on the PGTI, and that is absolutely some scintillating golf being produced by Yuvraj Sandhu on a daily basis.
Yeah, look at the last 3 finishes, a runner-up, a victory, and then a runner-up. So he doesn't get deterred if he loses a tournament, so as to speak, because he's playing so well, and you know that you don't quite get all the breaks going your way, but when he's in such menacing form, he's almost winning every second, third week that he tees it up.
It looks like everyone else is kind of trying to play a catch-up game to Yuvraj Sandhu at this point in time, the way he is playing, and that's absolutely brilliant. And having said that, I mean, you think it might be getting a little boring for him as well?
No, I'm pretty certain he's happy. He's got his sights set on the DP World Tour. I had a conversation with him. In fact, I'd gone to Jaipur and I saw him hit a few drives, and we were just having a few conversations, and he said he wants to secure that number 1.
That's the kind of motivation that one needs to keep going, and motivated is something that Yuvraj certainly is.
Let's see how this putt does.
Absolutely.
And another beautiful putt by Yuvraj. He's so that would move him to 6 under par, and Rashid would need to make that putt in order to stay tied alongside Yuvraj Sandhu.
That does put a little bit of pressure on Rashid now to make that putt for par.
This week has indeed been trying. Some of the top players have not been able to make the weekend this time. Arjun Prasad, Angad Chima, both of them really good players and winners. Then you had Amardeep Malik as well. Shamim Khan, the all-time highest earner. And this is one of his favorite hunting grounds. Himmat Singh Rai, a winner on the Asian Tour, also unable to make the weekend rounds. As you have a look at Rashid Khan, right to left breaking putt. I think he should be able to make it. the ease with which he holds them, no case of nerves.
Always been a firm putter of the ball, and he's always really gone after his putts. And Rashid again just showing us that. And he's been gunning for a win for quite some time. He's been waiting for a victory to come, and I think he's placing himself beautifully for this tournament. Let's take a look now at Dhruv Shoran coming up for a par here on the 11th.
Yeah, Dhruv has been a player that has improved consistently over the last 2 or 3 years. Married, I think, the last year or earlier this year, and has made quite a few trips to Japan. Has played a lot of golf there, of course, the Q school as well. So that's understandable that he would want to play a little more golf there. Good putt by him, and he really does have an international game, so as to speak. The good thing is that he's the kind of player that he can take that game to any continent. He has the ball striking. He has the physicality. I think that's the first and foremost when you're talking about a traveling sportsman.
We have now a look at Manu Gandas.
Playing hole number 12. Hole number 12 with the pin 27 and 6 from the right. So probably one of the most difficult pin positions here, right at the back. This hole from the back placed about 210 yards. This flag maybe playing to about 210, 212 off the tee. There's an overhanging tree, a branch, a hazard just shortened right at the green, so it requires a good contact from here, and he holds that.
A tough pin to get to, this pin location, 27 in, 6 from the right, and there are these overhanging branches over there. You've got to have the right yardage, you've got to catch the right wind, and then of course you've got to hit the best shot. So
would it be fair to say that this is not a hole that you try and draw it and try and get it close to the flag, because then you're flirting with those trees on the right hand side?
Oh, absolutely. You definitely have to catch it well, and I think that's the most important thing on this tee box. It's not a short shot by any means. With 27 in on that, you're looking at about 190 to 200 yard shot, depending on where the tee box is placed on that day, and that is certainly not the shortest of clubs to be going with.
Yeah, difficult hole. You only see a few birdies here, and par is a relatively good score on this hole. If you have a look at the entire day, we've only seen, I think, 2 birdies here. And now with the mere formality here for Shaurya. Very assertive, right in the heart of the hole.
So here we are now, onto this 12th hole, as the group of Yuvraj comes up onto this tee box. And as we speak of that, and as we wait for the players to hit off, our viewers should know that there is a big announcement coming up here on the PGTI, and brace yourselves, because this is going to be big, and this is going to be exciting for Indian golf, exciting for professional golf, and we can't wait to hear it ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if you look at all the great things that have already transpired on the Professional Golf Tour of India over the last 5 years. We've gone from strength to strength this tour, and we can only wait with bated breath, because we also know only very little, my friend. As you have a look at hole number 12. Now this is where Yuvraj separates himself from the field. Long irons.
Big advantage to have the high ball flight that he has on this kind of a flag location. He's one of those few players who can actually take it over the overhanging branches and draw this one up beautifully and stop it also on a dime at that position of the flag.
Yeah, that's something that we saw with Rory when he was here. That ability to hit those towering irons, and of course, Rory has that raw speed, and Yuvraj has the height as well as the speed. So that really does help, making that ball soar nice and high.
Certainly. Let's take a look now at Yuvraj. He's had one eagle this week. Yeah, the cameraman, trying to find it up into the sky. That's how high he hits it. Has he got this onto the green?
That was airborne. Yuvraj Airways. Not quite certain where that has ended up.
Rashid Khan, another player who can hit the ball towering high with his irons.
He had a different kind of spin rate though. Not the same sort of flight exactly. He does hit it high, but not with the exact same RPM. You'll see the ball release a lot more, but also very accurate, Rashid Khan. Especially when he's on song, he's a sight to watch.
Absolutely. One of the things, that I've noticed about him, whether he's on song or not, he definitely goes aggressively through it. And that ball has caught one of those branches, as we were speaking of earlier, should have dropped into that bunker, which is just short of the slope that we see over here.
Yeah, so he would find himself in that bunker. So I'd say this flag is one that maybe you try and avoid going right at. You want to keep it about 20 feet left. That would be the prudent play.
Well, that would be the best play actually, just trying to keep it about 15 feet or left of the hole, more towards the center of the green. And I think if you can hit a high fade from the left side and try to place yourself in that kind of a location, you'd also have a fairly easy putt. I think Dhruv has done just that, trying to get himself just on the left side of that flag.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. And you could see the curvature of that ball from left to right. That was a prudent shot by Dhruv. Not only a good golfer, he's also turning into a smart golfer. He's hitting the shots that the whole demand, and that's, if you can work it both ways consistently, I think that's a great thing to have in your arsenal.
Let's take a look now at Viraj Madappa, who's coming up from the front left portion on this 11th green. Well, what you just said over there, we'll just chitter-chatter a bit more about that, of shaping the ball both ways. Madappa going in with a simple chip and run approach. Does a fine job of that, leaving himself an uphill putt from about 4 feet away for a par. Well, it's actually quite debatable, and I'm quite not certain myself as to what the response to that really is. But there is a huge debate that should you shape the ball both ways or only one way, and apparently some of the best players in the world have always come up with knowing to hit that one shape beautifully, and they can do it on a call every time. So it's some of the critics and the coaches seem to think that shaping the ball both ways is actually not a very good thing, as you don't become a master of any.
Yeah, there might be some merit, of course, to try and be proficient with two flights. You really need to be a very good practitioner of ball striking. Your swing mechanics and everything else has to be on song. Rarely do you see players who can sort of move it both ways on call. So, of course, you have merit to it. There's so many good players like Kenny Perry and so on the US Tour that just worked it one way. Even Thanga, I think he likes to work it just right to left, soft draw each and every time. This would have a little bit of soft draw in the line as well here.
Well, there's a nice putt there, but he's still got about 5 feet remaining. It seems like he has misread the speed and the putt altogether, as his facial expression goes. And talking about that, I've actually seen a lot of players. In fact, one player that comes to my mind straight away is Siddiqur Rahman from Bangladesh. He actually shapes the ball both ways on his approach shots and does that so beautifully. Starts everything in the middle of the green and sort of shapes it towards the flag from there. And the proficiency that he does that with is just absolutely phenomenal. Another player I've seen doing that, one time that I played with SSP Chaurasia also, I noticed that he was shaping the ball both ways to get them into the flag locations.
Yeah, there are a few, but of course, Tiger at his peak could at will work it both ways. But you see, I think players more so now, especially on the bigger tours, they like to just work it one way.
Jairaj has a downhill putt here on the 11th hole. This ball should not break too much, should be a fairly straight putt, but the speed is going to be the most important part of this putt.
Jairaj reminding us of the Black Knight today. Gary player, dressed in all black. That's the second putt that he's missed on the trot.
An unfortunate miss here for Jairaj as he's trying to keep his campaign on for this tournament. Currently 3 over par for the day. He certainly needs to make a couple of birdies in those last 7 holes on this moving day. He's moving in the direction he didn't want to move in.
Yeah, so while we look at that, let's also have a look at some of the other players and some of the noteworthy rounds. We have Rohit Besoya 4 under par today. We have Gaurav Pratap Singh going well at 3 under par today. We have MD Sanju, who's been the pick of all the rounds so far. He's 5 under. Veer also is at 1 under for the day, and lower down we have Kshitij Navit called 2 under par today. And so again, this golf course yielding a very few under par rounds, and that's also nice to see as we have a look at Nthanga here. Oh, it's an unfortunate miss for Thanga Raja, and he would move to 2 under par, 4 behind the leaders. It's a different kind of a week. It's it's a high scoring week, and not too many red numbers, and I personally like that, to be honest. It's a test of golf, and only the best survive.
Quite unlike Thanga Raja to have not made that putt. Let's take a look now at Viraj. Viraj putting for par here. Viraj Madapa, one of the hardest workers out here on the tour. You'll always find him somewhere around the practice areas after his rounds are finished. There we have him beautifully rolling that one in confidently for a par.
Yeah, holds that with ease.
He'll go on to stay at 2 under par.
Thanga now. This week, by this time we often have a number that we think that will be the winning score. I think it's that time of day again, Rahul, that we look at the numbers. We have Yuvraj and Rashid both at 6 under par, and behind them we have Manu and Thanga, who are 3 and 2 individually. Let's have a look at Dhruv for his birdie attempt.
Should we get you to pick the number this time?
It's a difficult one to pick, especially how difficult. It's too difficult. So, what a putt! Not difficult for him. It's a thing of ease for Dhruv Sharan. Capitalizing on this hole with a good tee shot. Really planned that hole to perfection and executed it really well. What a birdie there!
He certainly needed a breather after that 2 over start on that front 9. 2 bogeys, both coming on the par 5s on this front half today. And of course having a slow start to that back 9, but that putt should definitely push him now into the right direction. So we take a look now at Rashid. Rashid's putting here for par to keep his scorecard clean. Unfortunately, that'll be the first bogey for Rashid on this hole. As I now welcome my co-commentator Shivas Nath back into the commentary box.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Nath back to the commentary booth as we have a look at Yuvraj from about 1.5 feet. This putt a mere formality for Yuvraj. Breaking a little bit to his left. And safely into the hole for a par.
Good to join you, Shaurya, and thank you, Rahul, for taking our viewers through. Bit of an earthquake in the commentary box. Well, we're here. And this is the par 3, 12th hole. This is, quite a underrated hole, Shaurya. 194 yards, got to shape it left to right, overhanging trees, a little bit of a pot bunker. Not a pushover by any means this par 3. In fact, I would rate this as probably the strongest par 3 on this course.
Yeah, one of the more difficult holes on this golf course, indeed. This hole really does call for a good tee shot and a measured approach at that. You can't be too aggressive. We've seen the perils of that. Rashid Khan having missed it to the right hand side here, and Yuvraj as well. So you'll see the players get up to the left hand side of the tee and try to negate that tree. I would say the prudent play is just keep it towards the center of the green and try to fade
No,
it
absolutely, Shaurya, because this pin is just cut 6 paces from the right side and at the back. You know, it's a 39-yard deep green, and the spin is 27 on, so it's pretty much back and no room on the right side. Absolutely nothing.
He also has the ability to hit those towering shots, and he's gone at it. This ball looks like it started right. Let's see if it draws back in.
It does
High
indeed.
towering draw towards the heart of the green. That should be about similar territory to where we saw Dhruv make that putt from.
And that is a solid birdie by Dhruv, and of course Yuvraj has taken charge. He's 4 under for the day, 6 under for the event, and with Rashid's recent bogey on this very hole, which we just saw on our screen, he's dropped a shot back to 5 under. So lots
Blink-
happening here.
Blink and you miss. N. Thangaraja really quick on the draw after that bogey. Let's see what kind of shot he hits. Will he be a little more aggressive on this one?
And of course, from our erstwhile leader group,
What a fantastic shot. He's really gone for it on this hole, not holding back. That should be about 15 feet for birdie. One of the best that we've seen thus far. Really good approach shot, tee shot rather, on this hole.
it's pretty much pin high, you know. I think that's a good position, and you know, all of them somehow, you know, trying to stay in touch, but definitely we've seen a couple of them backing off down the. I mean, Dhruv Shuran is at 1 over par. Jairaj Sandhu also from the leader group, 4 over for the day.
And this is quite a comfortable shot for Jairaj. It's diametrically opposite to a right-hand player, so a comfortable draw for him. Just keep it on the left-hand side and let it turn back. Not quite certain where that has ended up. I would say for the left-handed player, it's a lot easier as we get into a commercial break now.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
And here we are back to the live action at the Delhi Golf Club. 5 or 6 years ago, these gorgeous greens were relayed by the legendary Gary Player. Oops, that is an interesting sight. A short putt missed there. Not very often you see a masked up player. And you know, that said and done, the air quality in Delhi isn't really as bad as most people expected, but of course one has to be a little careful out there. Winter, cold, still air, not much breeze, and of course you see in the backdrop
And for those of you who are joining us just this moment, I'd like to tell you and welcome you to the Vishwa Samudra Open 2025 being played at the Delhi Golf Club. This tournament offers a total prize fund of rupees 2 crore and it's towards the business end of things. We have 2 more tournaments to decide the order of merit winner and the final order of merit list.
And Shaurya, that's said and done. Yuvraj Sandhu seems to be, a clear front runner. This is a big event, as you mentioned, 2 crore prize money, and well, obviously that means a 30 lakh winner's check. And he's not backing off. He's taken this by the scruff of his neck. I think he's about 30 lakhs ahead of his closest pursuer on the order of merit. And with this one, he would pretty much have, sealed it up with a solid finish or a win here.
Yes, but Shaurya is there as well, so it's a little early to call. Of course, the favorite would be Yuvraj. He's at 6 under par. Shaurya is at 2 under par, and he's 30 lakh behind him. But the winner takes home 30. So all to play for at this point in time.
No, absolutely. I'm not at all, denying that in any way. It's just that with both of them up there, the differential is going to either marginally decrease or marginally increase.
Depending
on
on
a game-changing difference from.
Yeah, let's have a look at Jairaj now.
This young man's been struggling today. I mean, he came out.
Oh, look at that! And
Great, well-deserved birdie.
This hole has really acquiesced to a lot of players and given them birdies. We saw Dhruv with that good putt, and Jairaj finally having one drop his way. What a brilliant putt!
No, I'm very happy for him because he got off to a flyer in the first round. Yesterday was average at best, and today he's definitely been below his typical expectations.
I think that just shows you that never give in is the only motto that works in professional golf.
As in life, Shaurya, it's pretty much you got to keep punching, and some of them will drop your way. Absolutely, do it the right way, follow your process, stay at it.
It's a good birdie for Jairaj, and that would move him back to even par. Maybe that augurs well for the rest of the round. He has 6 more holes to go. Today has seen a few birdies, a couple of eagles as well. MD Sanju holding out in hole number 2. Then he had Manoj S.
Yeah, he put on a good show. At some point, he was actually 6 under for the day. So he's obviously had a bogey coming in because currently he's at 1 under for the tournament and 5 under for the day. And the biggest mover today, 20 spots up.
And Manoj S as well, an eagle on the par 5 14th. So
Manoj S has been very impressive, right? I mean, this, I believe, would be his rookie season, Shaurya? Young man from Bangalore, KGA.
Rookie season. Well, we have a look at Viraj here. Similar line to the one that Dhruv had, missing it on the high side. Yeah, Manoj S, the youngster, is really impressive. And so is our national bird.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at those feathers. Bit of shimmer on the blue, the turquoise blue on the neck, and of course the feathers. And
well, if you're playing golf here, if you happen to be lucky enough to play golf at the Delhi golf course, do enjoy the experience. It's you got a few blue bulls here as well, and it's nature. It's in all its splendor. But at this point in time, the players are squarely focused on the task at hand, and leading your tournament is Yuvraj Sandhu. The man is no stranger to success, who's raked up 1.3 CR already, and with 3 events to go, that would be a record.
It's really tremendous, Shaurya, the way this year under the leadership of Mr. Kapil Dev and of course our CEO, Mr. Amandeep Johal, the tour has just grown by leaps and bounds. More money, more sponsors, more events, more exposure.
Oh, that's a miss for Thanga. I thought that he would have made that, given he likes those left-right putts, but unfortunately missing it on the higher side. But nevertheless, a par on this hole is a good effort. As we have a look at Viraj. Yes, the tour has grown. A lot of things, of course, that that announcement that we are waiting for with bated breath as well. That's
it's expected to be a big and a very exciting one.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of good things happening, and I think these players are lucky.
Viraj, having a bit of a conversation with Gaddy. Doesn't seem happy. Did they read it wrong, or did it hit something? But something seems to be amiss here.
Yeah, Viraj works a lot in the gym, and
very process-driven player, right?
Yeah, And we have a look at Jairaj here on hole number 13.
This again a lovely hole. Tee shot placement is paramount, and the green has some serious contours and movement.
Yeah, the new green makes it really difficult, especially towards the top left. Today the pin though at the front right is the more genial pin position, so the whole play is shorter, so you can sort of throttle back off the tee, maybe hit a 3-iron or a rescue. A lot of these players will actually just go in
because
with
it's
a
going to
rescue.
charge down the slope, and
Yeah.
fairways are running a bit.
Go in with a rescue, then probably get a 9-iron or even a wedge for the longer hitter. So
But I tell you that pin position, although it's front right, it's no slouch, because anything that's slightly leaked is going to go down that slope, which is which we, of course, our viewers will see in a short while. We saw that happen a lot couple of months ago, the DP World, because that was the pin position on one of the days.
yes, that of course that is perilous in its own right. If I have to choose between the Devil or the Deep Blue Sea, if I'm talking about the back left flag, then I'd say the front right is. I definitely take my medicine.
For sure, for
Very
sure, for
difficult
sure.
to draw a longer iron and still sort of that looked like it went left.
It did indeed, and that's where our camera is.
That went quick
Oh,
left.
it's,
But
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But it's sitting
that
down.
came out from the skies like an angel.
Well, now that it's on the safer side, not in the fairway, but still in the short stuff. It's from that miss. It's probably an angelic.
I think he might have
outcome.
miscued it because it
For sure.
seems a little further back as well. We'll find out.
Yes. Yes,
As we have a
indeed.
Look at Viraj here.
Looked like a bit of a pull cut, if I may say so.
Yeah, don't quite see too many players with a 3-wood here at all. I've never seen that. You normally see
It
them
is
with
probably too long, because on the right side, if you miss it slightly right, and I'm talking on the fairway, there are those couple of trees that are, sticking out into the fairway, and then that can give you fits because you're too close to the tree, and it's not funny having to shape a wedge. So they're probably playing it for position, as you rightly said, to give themselves a wedge or a 9-iron from
Yeah,
the
you-
center of the fairway.
especially on these greens and this weather, you want to be on the short stuff. If you're in the rough, it's really difficult to try and stop the ball onto the green.
Oh yes, absolutely. And on this green, you absolutely need to stop it on a dime.
That's a real dart from Viraj, a low dart. It's chasing
Look
on.
at that. Look at that. It's just a good spot.
I think Thangaraja's ball wasn't a miscue. It just looked that way because we see that it's fairly into the fairway. You might only have like a wedge from there. So all in all, I think that's a decent shot for him.
Yeah, Thangaraja's got his work cut out. He's 3 over for the day. That's not a good spot. Of course, still given his spectacular round yesterday, he has a bit of a cushion. But he's got a couple of par 5s coming up in terms of the 14th as well as the 18th. So he would have some ground to make up. And again, the 15th, I find also, if you get your tee shot placed correctly, can yield a birdie or two.
Yeah, I think one thing that the players need to be mindful of, especially when you feel that it's not going your way, is don't capitulate. You got to keep your wits about you because this is that type of golf course that'll grind you down, and you want to stay in the present. Even if you shoot a 4 or a 5 over par here, you're still in the midst because here fortunes can change in the flip of a coin. We've seen that this iconic golf course has witnessed many a changes. I remember that stellar shot from Jyoti Randhawa to win that Indian Open, the chip in by Gaurav Ghai.
That was what, the Gargill
The
Western
Gargill,
Masters?
1996. That was
20 years? Oh, well, 30 years.
That
Wow.
was the biggest paycheck ever as we have a look at Manu Gandas. As we have a look at this chip shot for Manu here at hole number 13. And of course we have that big announcement that we keep hearkening back to, but it is of course big, stellar, stupendous.
And that's just not just for the fans. I tell you, the players are equally excited and waiting with bated breath.
Manu
That-
on hole number 14, my apologies, on the par 5. He's hit a good chip shot. My guess is that he'd be here in 2. As
And this green, as you can see, also has some serious contours. big elevation changes on this green as well.
But one of the advantages this week with the golf course being a little firmer, if you can be straight off the tee, it plays a little shorter this week.
Oh, 100%.
Plays a little shorter, so it's it's like two sides of a story. It helps you a little bit, but if you're errant and the wind picks up, it makes it a lot more difficult.
No, you're so right, but obviously we've played on this course a lot and spent a lot of time in the city. It somehow doesn't really, the wind, the breeze doesn't really, I find, pick up a whole lot in December. It's more during the summer months and the season that we call autumn that the wind gets up a bit. But winters largely have been fairly serene, if I may say. And back to this green, as you can see in the center of our screen, there's a and I would advise our viewers to stay online. The announcement is literally just around the corner, as we have Shaurya likely making a putt for a birdie. It's uphill, so it's an interesting green. If you're on the lower half, you've got to get up the crest, and then the ball gets away from you. So it's a bit of uphill, and then steeply uphill, and then marginally downhill.
This should break a little bit to his left as we also wait for that announcement. Let's see if he's able to make that putt.
No, I think he's staring it down. He's probably just given it too much respect. Didn't quite move enough.
And
so commentators in the bar house, the players on the golf course, and the spectators on the course, as well as our viewers in their rooms and offices, stay tuned.
Yeah,
the big announcement is around the corner.
All of us are waiting with bated breath, and you could cut the excitement with a knife.
Yes,
it's in the air.
But I can't hold my breath much longer, Shaurya. I'm running out of gas and steam. Come on, PGTI, make the announcement.
And we're running out of adjectives, and even for our players as well. Yuvraj Sandhu, we always do run out of adjectives for you as he makes another birdie on hole number 13. He just rolls on. The juggernaut just rolls on, and he's at 7 under par, now opening a 2-shot lead. Rashid, you'll have to make a few birdies, otherwise you'll be left in the lurch. He's difficult to catch, especially when he's on song, is Yuvraj. But it's been done before. It can be done again, but it's not going to be easy.
And we have Manu, here trying to make a birdie to get himself into tied second with Rashid at 5 under for the tournament. That looks like a good stroke, and no mistake there. Well done.
That's really well done.
I absolutely love Manu's demeanor. Calm, cool, collected, assured, and absolutely awesome. And Yuvraj, kind of is like a steam train, on point, powering through. And now we have Danek, one of our international players.
From Czechia.
He spent about a couple of years already, or is it 3 on the PGTI?
I think about 3 years.
So is Danek going to make the cup before the major announcement, or the major announcement, Shaurya, coming out before he makes his putt?
I think he's going to make the putt, and then we'll go into the major announcement.
And he does.
Any moment now. It's been brewing for a long time.
India, the land of hustle. Buzzing streets, loud noises, and chaos. Has something new, something that soothes the soul. Takes a swing, aims for glory, and leaves you in awe. Introducing 72, the lead. It will tame the chaos. It will unite the country. It will reveal aces. Because we don't just play golf, we celebrate it. The world's game with an Indian soul. The league.
And now I think after I enter, we feel golf has everything in this world. Maybe India haven't seen the golf at that level, what Europe or America or Australia or other part of the world see. I said, why not our boys should get chance to make a life out of that, and why not people also can enjoy that. The television has improved in golf, which is the most difficult game to pick up on for television. And what we've seen in the last 6 months, the television have done extremely well, and we hope our golfer will make a life out of that. And nothing is possible without the sponsors and team owners, and that's the second part and most important part.
We had a lot of serious golf happening over the year, but like Mr. Kapil said, a bit of league flavor was very important to break that monotony. You know, to give, because golf is such an individual sport, we never get to feed each other off each other. You see, the Americans and the Europeans have the Ryder Cup. Earlier in Asia, we used to have the Dynasty Cup, where Asians played against the Japanese. But a league format is a few weeks of professional golfers who are most individualistic compete together as a team. I think that would add a lot of good to serious golf. And because 72, the league is only about professional golfers, I think it will be a great impetus to the quality of golf. And who knows, in future, like the IPL, we have foreign golfers coming in, world talent coming into the league, and that is going to benefit golf.
And there we have it. That was the big announcement. The PGTI League launched in India, the biggest, baddest, and richest golf league in the country.
Yeah, a great shot in the arm for professional golf, not just India, but the world over. I'd say this league is going to change the way professional golf is played. More prize money. The format is exciting. We have a lot more players being added to the mix. And the exciting format of the league is going to pit the best against the rest. It's going to be really exciting. 6 teams, I believe, and it's just a lot of money, a lot of excitement, and new venues,
and a lot of support,
format,
and a lot of
as well, and national. You're going to have national interest.
Yeah, it's going to move around city to city, and a lot of support from patrons, corporates, the government jumping in as well. Of course, as we know, the PGTI is the apex body for professional golf in India, and I think there couldn't be better news, Shaurya. Absolutely delighted. The players are excited, the enthusiasts are excited, and I think every sports fan in the country would be part of this.
Well, I as well I'm really excited at this announcement. Golf is going from strength to strength, and a big thank you to our supporters, associates, and especially this week, Vishwa Samudra.
The richest golf event on the PGTI calendar, a 2 crore purse, and 30 lakhs to the winner. Absolutely top notch. This is, I think, the second edition of the Vishwa Samudra, right, Shaurya?
Yes, and the Vishwa Samudra Group is a multilateral business conglomerate with over 15 companies, headquarters in Hyderabad. Its flagship company, Vishwa Samudra Engineering Private Limited, is one of the fastest growing infrastructure companies in the country, with a current working order book of INR 32,000 crores. So much that I can't even read it out loud. The company is constructing India's first and world's second urban ropeway project in Varanasi. In addition to that, it's building a massive port on the east coast of India in Andhra Pradesh.
So back to the visuals now on the gorgeous 14th hole. We're on the green, and in the backdrop we see that beautiful tomb, and right below the tomb you see the sliver of green. That is the championship tee. Probably one of the most gorgeous and picturesque championship tees in golf across India, or perhaps I'll go out on a limb and say this, certainly in Asia and maybe even in the world. You know, the history that surrounds this golf course, including Shaurya, of course, our commentator's booth, where we're sitting literally behind the 9th green, surrounded by a couple of tombs. It doesn't get better.
Yes, it doesn't get better, but the commentary does get better as I invite Mr. Rahul Bajaj, the debonair Mr. Rahul Bajaj, to run you through the intricacies of the next few holes and the trials and tribulations that are happening at the Delhi Golf Club.
Well, there we have it, the 14th green. Absolutely a beautiful, very well set hole. The green 2 tire, some serious contour change, and it's very interesting to see how these lads have, reached the upper deck. So here we are at the very picturesque 14th hole, a terrific par 5, very much gettable in 2. The tomb we saw in the backdrop, in the distance. This, of course, being a par 5, all of 507 yards. And, the tee, the championship tee is just set below the tomb on the upper tire. And I must say, Rahul, it is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful settings, natural beautiful settings for any golf course across the globe. That is what Delhi Golf Club presents in terms of history and visuals.
Well, firstly, thanks to Shaurya for that little welcome that he gave around. And of course, Shivas, nice to be back here with you in the box. Yes, definitely, DGC is a marvel. What a golf course this is. It's not only is it a brilliant golf course, I think it's also, it's kind of like, wow, what a chip in here by Dhruv Shoran from off the green. Here to this tough pin position on the 14th hole. 34 in and 6 from the right. Believe you me, holding a putt is tough enough. He's rolled a chip.
No, indeed. We are getting the line, the speed, the landing spot, and then, of course, the execution, Rahul. Absolutely top class.
Absolutely top-notch.
That should all go well.
By Dhruv Shoran.
Was that for an eagle? Let's wait for the scoreboard to update. That could very well be for an eagle.
Should be for an eagle. And of course, Yuvraj Sandhu carrying on with that bogey-free form, carrying on now to 7 under par for the tournament, 5 under par for the day.
He's like it reminds me a bit of a powerful steam engine, just charging through.
Hey, he's a little
Self
bit more
and solid.
Bit more modern than a steam engine, though.
I'm kind of an old school guy, right, Rahul? The steam engine has its own personality. It's kind of looks like a bit of a bully, a powerful one, if I may add.
That's the thing, right? Like we all reminisce on these old times, and we always think that things from the past were way better than what they are now, right? Don't we? Sort of like we always reminisce in those, but definitely things back then were way stronger than what they are now.
Yeah, well, we've seen the change even in golf equipment from steel shafts that were extremely heavy and wooden heads laminated or persimmon, and then they moved on to other materials, and look at where we are now. It's pretty much space age technology. I feel very fortunate to be part of that generation that's played with everything from old golf equipment to what we have now that doesn't have a sweet spot on the face. It's a sweet zone.
I mean, those were the days, right? The persimmon woods. In fact, Shivas, I don't know about you, but I actually am fortunate enough to possess a nice collection of persimmons, also some amount of hickories. I appreciate that stuff quite a bit. In fact, I'm quite passionate about it. Let's take a look now at Yuvraj Sandhu.
He's got the job done. It's about 1.5 feet away.
I think that steam engine lost its steam.
Commentator's curse. Commentator's curse, dare I say. Well, that was very well put, Rahul. That's something which, I was commenting to some friends of ours last evening when we were all here together, the members' night that the PGTI and Vishwa Samudra had hosted. That it's the energy in the commentary room also depends on the relationship you share with your co-commentators, and I think that's something which we've been very fortunate to feed off each other's energy and, dare I say, cheesy humor.
Let's get a look now at Rashid Khan, the man who knows how to putt, and something disturbed him there, seems like,
a bit of
in the background.
Insect? Or was it okay?
I think he got kind of disturbed by something. The thing also with this is that only if you are really clued in, you've got to be really present in the moment to be able to pinpoint that and stop while the motion is happening, and that's commendable that Rashid just did that.
Oh my God!
Unfortunately,
that was a near miss, and that was an important putt for him to make, because I believe that would be at least for a birdie to move him into solo second.
Well, it's pretty much all lip no hole there for Rashid, and Yes, moving into solo second is one thing, although we do have plenty of holes still remaining at the Vishwa Samudra Open, the second edition being played here this week. And Rashid, of course, with that firm par putt at the back edge of the cup, taking no time, or let me say wasting no time.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed about him. He really goes about his business in a pretty efficient manner. And as you spent a bit of time with good friend Sampath Chari, the tournament director, it's I particularly enjoyed that question you asked him about the pace of play and how players have become a lot more respectful of the clock, and they get their job done, I would say, very efficiently in the time allocated.
Yuvraj, of course, now from about 2.5 feet away. Let's take a look at what he does from here. Of course, mere formality for a putter like him, but like the golfing gods have their own way of making a 3-footer feel like a 30-footer, as the saying goes. Well, of course, no trouble
there. Yep, solid, very, very solid.
Unfortunately, Mohammad Sanju only finishing up with a 3 under par on his scorecard. Came
Oh
up,
no, he
with a
dropped
great
another
start.
shot. Yes, he was a 6 under for the day at some point.
But not way outside the top 10. He is now at 1 over par for the tournament at 14th position on his own. And I think if he can produce another good round tomorrow, he should be able to finish within the top 10.
Another local player from Delhi Golf Club, Rohit Baisoya, he's on a bit of a tear. He's moved up 27 spots with a solid 5 under round. There's still 3 holes to go. So a bit of movement up there. These boys seem to be finding some mojo.
Shaurya Bhattacharya coming up from that front portion on the 15th hole. Currently, Shaurya is at 2 under par for the tournament. Only a lone under par for the day.
Definitely a makeable putt from there. Pins in the front, his left, and he has just missed it on the left side.
7 in and 6 left is this flag location. A tough flag to get to. In fact, I just a few moments ago had a word with one of the players, Abhinav Lohan, and I was asking him that what is the toughness out there on the course, and he mentioned that the greens are the ones that are playing tough. So for the players, that's the reason that we are seeing that it's extremely tough out here to make birdies at the Delhi Golf Club this week.
Well, Rahul, this may have the cut that was actually applied this morning because a lot of the players couldn't finish their rounds yesterday. Probably is one of the highest cuts this season on the PGTI, if not the highest. So course, of course, has got teeth. It's playing hard and testing out the best.
Stepan Danek coming up from a very makeable location for this hole. In fact, the 15th hole is one of the most interesting holes on this golf course. It's tiny enough to make a birdie on, but if you miscue that tee shot, although most of the players only hit it to about 180 to 200 yards off the tee, keeping it short of that bunker and right at the, just before that bunker. So if you do not place yourselves on the right side of that fairway, which is like center rightish, the hole bends back towards the left side, like doggy leg to the left, and the green sort of hidden behind those trees. If you have not placed yourself on the right side and you've left yourself on the left side of that fairway, there is no shot to that green, Shivas. You could have just a pitching wedge in, but there is no shot available.
You're absolutely right. There's absolutely nothing. And what makes it even harder is that the tree just on the left corner, about maybe 40 yards short of the green, is a menace. It's an absolute goddamn menace.
And the thing is that when we look at today's golf, there isn't a lot of motion, like movement on the ball, right? You don't see players moving the ball too much. And with the new clubs as well, you can't move the ball too much. So if you've got yourself stuck in that left side and you want to move that ball right to left a ton to get that going to the green, it's so hard to curve that ball backwards.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. New equipment, the clubs make it a lot harder to move it, and the balls themselves, there's just less movement from what it used to be back in the day. Talking about the old school business.
For sure. And Viraj Madappa now coming up from about 100 yards away to the green. This is a layup shot that he's played. This should be his third shot onto this flag location here on the 14th hole, the par 5.
Yeah, this should be a hop and a skip on the lower level, and then runs up over that slope.
Talking about old school and modern, is Viraj definitely more of a modern golfer. Very athletic, built, and really does give that ball everything he's got. Looks like he's quite happy with that wedge shot. Go pull out that putter. There we have
one of our permanent life members here at the club.
Flora and Fauna, one of those who don't have to really wait around for membership.
Redhead, fashionable.
Enjoy that view.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है। मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है, जिद कैंपा वाली, जिद कैंपा वाली, जिद कैंपा वाली, जिद।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
As we are now back to the live action over here, Viraj Madappa from that third shot of his off the fairway has hit it brilliantly, has put himself into a very positive location for a birdie attempt. And one of the things with this flag location at the back of this green also is, Shivas, that if you're, if you don't have a clear shot with a club which you can really get to the top tier, you're better off laying up. At least, you have a wedge or a sand wedge or a lob wedge in your hand. You can have a full swing in. You can really put in enough amount of spin to stop that golf ball there.
No, you're absolutely right, Rahul. And the shot he's played is actually top notch. A lot of our viewers may not even realize how good that shot was, because let me reiterate, it's a huge slope and I would say a level change of about 3 to 4.5 feet from the lower half of the green to the upper half. And then once it crosses the ridge and the upper half, the spine, it again gets away from you. So he's really controlled that beautifully.
Absolutely. You can tell, our viewers can actually tell from what they view on their screen right now. As you get past the whole location, the green's actually going downhill, so it's very tough to stop the ball on that tier. And Thangaraja, who came in from the green side bunker, unfortunately has sort of tossed himself over the green. Let's see if he can toss himself back now near the heart of the hole.
Fortunately, he does have a clear swing of sorts. It's just more about now how he controls his manipulates his club face and bounces the ball. Oh, it's a good effort, I would say, Rahul.
Well, he's done brilliantly
to get it within 5 feet or thereabouts. It's actually a great effort.
Absolutely, and tough coming in from that rough. Little bit of the uphill of the green does help, but mind you, it's still an extremely tough shot from there.
No, and I would believe he was sitting at least a couple of feet below the green surface level.
Yes.
We don't realize it here, but it drops off, at the back.
Absolutely, and he had that wedge completely opened up,
Yes.
and pointing up to the sky as he was hitting that shot.
Very soft hands.
Gerard Sandhu seems to be applying the plumb bob technique over here. The good old plumb bob to check the slope on the green.
Again, takes me back to the good old days. You have, of course, now the new systems, the vector and the aim point and everything. But back in the day, plumb bob is what everybody did.
What is vector? I've never
It's
heard of
a
vector.
deviant of aim point. In fact, it's funny. The two of them are actually fighting some sort of a lawsuit on IP ownership.
Oh, really? That's an interesting fact over there. I shall
yeah.
look this up today.
You must.
I'm surprised.
Bryson DeChambeau is actually one of the original students of Vector.
Okay.
And both the creators of those programs, Aimpoint and Vector, claim to be the first in that domain.
Oh wow! So now there's a battle going on, and let's see who wins that. And as we have our own battle over here at the Vishwa Samudra Open, as we take a look now at Gerard Sandhu, putting from just the back edge.
Ooh, near miss.
Not finding the bottom of the cup here. And as things go on, yes, sure, Dhruv Shoran with that chip in on the 14th hole that we saw from the front portion of the green actually made an eagle. So he's moved up to 3 under par for the tournament as Yuvraj Sandhu has now moved up to 8 under par, a 3-shot lead over Manu Gandas and Rashid Khan, while Bangladesh's Jamal Hossain is now at 3 under par alongside Akshay Sharma and Dhruv Shoran. And Shaurya Bhattacharya, N. Thangaraja and Viraj Madappa make up the rest of the top 10.
Very interesting, in the final group, the leader group from yesterday, Viraj is probably doing the best at even par. And you have Jayaraj who's a 2-0 for the day. And of course, Thangaraja who's 3-0 for the day. So that group certainly struggling with themselves.
Well, that's what it is, right? You're actually struggling with yourselves mostly, right? You're playing against yourself, as they say, in the greatest golfers of
bad luck.
My goodness,
that's bad luck to Viraj. That would have really been an important part, and more so very unfair given his terrific third shot into the green.
Well, yes, and currently at even par for the day, Viraj certainly needs to make some reds on that scorecard. As any professional tournament would go, it's always important for the pro to be posting up like at least something in the red, to constantly be moving in the right direction. So I'm sure this is going to hurt Viraj. Hopefully he's got the 15th to the 18th now and he can create some damage over there. As we take a look at Sri Lanka's N. Thangaraja, this is his par putt.
Yeah, we need Thangaraja to make this. He's certainly been out of sorts today with that. Well done, well done. That was an important part for him to keep himself going. Still a little bit of work to be done for the rest of the day.
Superb up and down there, and ladies and gentlemen, and all the junior golfers who might be watching this, this is what professional golf is really about. The way you saw Dhruv Shoran making that chip in, it's how they come to the fore with all the tough situations. What N. Thangaraja just did with that up and down from the back of the green and scrambled backwards, this is one part of the players' games that don't get as much attention because we think that they're only hitting shots which are at 6 feet. And I'm glad that the camera work over here has been able to show us, that there are also some shots which are not in the prettiest of locations, but players make the most of it. And let's take a look now at Dhruv Shoran coming up from about 4 yards short of the green here on the 15th hole, electing to use the putter, as mentioned by my friend Shaurya just some time back. That tough lies players are finding in the fairway, tight position, so tough to get the wedge under the ball.
And it looks like he's left himself a little bit short. Just seemed to come up short, but I would say that would be a stress-free par. And you're absolutely right, Rahul. Putters have been overall and historically a very popular choice but from a lot of players when they're on the front of the green, because the lies are extremely tight and there is a bit of elevation change as well. I mean, I'm a big fan of these greens that Gary Player has done as part of the redesign.
He does have a penchant for doing some funny things around the greens, but I think at the Delhi Golf Club, these greens have actually added such great flavor to this golf course. Earlier the only thing that was tough over here was always the tee shots, as you would hear from everyone. But now with these new greens, if you miss them in the wrong spaces, that's a really tough one to go with.
No, I'm full of admiration because it's not just the green and the putting surface, the entire green complex, the placement of some of the bunkers, and the strategy and the way it's really a thinking man's golf course. So great work by Gary Player design here.
One of the shots that I think has become extremely important on this course now, from off the green, is the shot which comes from a slight downhill. So you've got to use a low bounce wedge over there and have enough skill to slide that wedge under the ball, because there's some of the flag locations, like especially like let's say on a hole like the 13th and the 18th, if you miss the green on the wrong side, that ball tends to roll downwards and then sort of goes up and settles. And Rashid Khan, the only place his golf ball seems to settle is the bottom of the cup.
No, that was indeed a great putt. He was looking at it a little tentatively, a little anxiously. Not really sure whether it was going to make it all the way, but aren't we glad he did make that birdie and put himself back up at 6 under. And here, of course, is our leader, Yuvraj Sandhu. A terrific young man. He's been a top junior golfer, top amateur, and on his way to having a terrific career as a professional golfer. We wish him, of course, all the best.
Well, Yuvraj Sandhu is actually trying to finish on the number 1 of the order of merit here on the PGTI, which earns him a full year's playing rights on the DP World Tour.
Sorry, Rahul, to cut you off, but before his golf bag goes off screen for our viewers, that's a lovely logo of in Indian colours.
And what seems like has he used the appearance of a peacock there to enhance that, and the national bird, which it is, and of course a befitting golf course here to be showcasing that.
Well, one of us at some point in time needs to ask him the story of that logo, because it's an interesting one, and I'm sure our viewers would like to know more about it.
Well, Dhruv Shoran seems to have ended his blues, and pun is intended here.
Indeed.
With that eagle on that previous hole, and this short one now coming up for a par save on the 15th. Well, that eagle has
you do a lot of work, Rahul, with Dhruv. I'm very intrigued with the putter he's using. It's got a kind of a yellowish, copperish insert. It's very unusual color.
Well, incidentally, it's just a usual Odyssey putter with a plumber's neck. You know, the
Right.
famous number 7
Yes,
with a
yes,
plumber's
yes,
neck.
yes.
And the reason that the color of that putter is a little different. There we have the Vishwa Samudra Open, ladies and gentlemen. For all of you who are just about joining us, this is the Vishwa Samudra Open 2025 presented by Kapil Dev, the 26th event of the 2025 PGTI season. What a strong season this has been for the PGTI of India. And Vishwa Samudra, of course, in its second edition, the players here are playing for a prize purse of 2 crore rupees. This is one of the richest tournaments on the domestic calendar. The Vishwa Samudra Group is a multilateral business conglomerate with over 15 companies headquartered in Hyderabad, India. It's its flagship company, Vishwa Samudra Engineering, is one of the fastest growing infrastructure companies in the country. What a great company and what a great sport
And
to be
thank you.
associated with.
Yeah, and we must thank, on behalf of the PGTI, our players, the fans, the 2 crore prize money purse, the highest for domestic tournament on the PGTI. Absolutely fantastic, very generous, and thank you very much on behalf of the PGTI and the golf fans in India.
And of course, we also have a couple more tournaments lined up as the season continues. 2 more tournaments left after this week to complete the 2025 season. It's been a busy year for the PGTI's players, all the professionals as well as the staff, in fact, moving from one place to the other, hosting some of the best golf tournaments, and it's been a tiring year, but an exciting one at that.
Indeed. And kudos to the PGTI team and the staff, because they all say they absolutely love what they do. And you have to have a job and be happy at it, and especially very good at it. And of course, the PGTI team absolutely ticks all those boxes. So next week I'm particularly excited about, because the tour moves to Navi Mumbai at the Kharghar Valley Golf Course, which is government owned by the Sitco. And I'm a big fan of that course. It's 7,300 yards, some serious elevation changes. The wind can and will get up at some point. And it's a bit of a beast. So I play there a couple of times a month, easy. And it's also a very humbling course, I can tell you that, Rahul.
Well, as we talk about the Kharghar Valley Golf Club just in some time, I do want to sort of pinpoint over here that this is the vision that we were talking about on the 15th hole. Viraj has actually placed himself beautifully on the right side of the fairway to have a clear view towards the green. Although to this flag location today, even from there, he does not have a view to it. So he's actually trying to hit this ball into a blind spot and get this as close to it as possible.
No, absolutely, you're right. And literally it's like the cameraman heard you, Rahul, because this could not be a better visual for the way this hole sets up. And the camera, of course, is on the top right of the green, so it still gives you a clear view of the player and the pin. But if you're directly behind the flag, there was no chance you were seeing the player.
I mean, Tangaraja, of course, it's as if he knew exactly the grass strand that he wanted to leave the golf ball on, because he probably has a good view at this. And we saw Jairaj also. Jairaj is just short of the bunker over there. He's got a tough position coming in from the rough, but a clearer view to the flag.
Oh, that's
What
a beauty.
brilliant shot by
That
Jairaj
is
Sandhu.
a beauty.
Is that something that only left-handers could do?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, because from that angle, there's no way a right-hander could make that ball stop as quickly as Jairaj did. And it'd be nice to see this young man make the putt. It's pretty much on the similar line that Rashid made his birdie from.
Tangaraja.
Oh, beauty.
Another brilliant shot here. Setting themselves up for birdie opportunities, including Viraj, in fact. It's a long way away, but very much on the tier that does not have too much of break to this putt.
A quick word about some of our other sponsors on tour. Campa Cola. It's good to have them back in the business. Their drinks, and they have an energy drink as well. Something that our players find very refreshing. Something that you find in abundance in our Victoria's Choice Players Lounge, where they serve some scrumptious breakfast and lunch to the players. And that's been a great addition from Victoria's Choice this season, or this year rather, on the PGTI.
My good old memories of Campa Cola, Shivas, are actually, they go back to the days when I was probably less than 10 years old, and when we used to go down to my grandmother's for the summer vacation. There used to be a crate of Campa Cola over there, and the thing was that we had to save the bottles because there was a deposit kept in the Kirana store for the bottles. So if we took the bottles back, would we get that money back or the next set of the crate?
Well, that's so true, that brings back a bunch of nostalgia as well. And I do recall also losing a few bottles, particularly during Diwali time, when we used to use those bottles during the days of the patakas to launch a few rockets. And obviously that's something that's not now very popular or environmentally friendly, and I'm glad they teach that in school to the youngsters as well.
Manu Gandas coming up on the 17th hole, and mind you, we are a long way away from the end of this tournament. Manu, of course, finding the putting surface over here. And one thing that they need to start teaching in schools now, which a lot of schools are teaching, is the game of golf.
I couldn't agree more with you. There's been a lot of good work being done by a good friend of yours and mine and the golf community, Amit Luthra and his golf foundation. And, it's really good to see them make the effort to really reach out, do a talent hunt, and, find kids that otherwise would never have had the opportunity to play this beautiful game that's given guys like you, me, and Shaurya and so many others so much.
Well, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think the foundation is doing a tremendous job of going to places which are not on the golfing calendar as of right now, and finding talent and encouraging kids to pick up the sport. I think that this is the step in the absolute right direction as we take a look at Shaurya Bhattacharya coming up onto the par 3 17th hole. Pin today, 9 in and 6 from the right.
And speaking of talent, while we have Shaurya Bhattacharya absolutely hit an arrow at the flag, we also have our talented co-commentator, Shaurya Singh, rock up with a lovely Campa Cola in hand. And we were just talking about our sponsor, and that's a Campa Lemon. And Shaurya will give you folks a review on that as well.
Welcome back, Shaurya. And we take a look now at Stepan Danek. Stepan Danek currently at 1 over par. Stepan Danek unfortunately has missed that one out to the right. This is, it's a tough tee shot actually with this flag location. 9 in from the front. The bunker really comes into play if you miss the shot. And now as we take a moment's break and move towards, this is the Vishwa Samudra Open presented by Kapil Dev, and now we are going to hear it from none other than the legend Mr. Kapil Dev himself about the tournament and the game in this country.
Hi, I'm Kapil Dev and we are talking about PGTI India. I think I don't look at it that my tenure, it's our tenure, it's everybody's. This tour basically it's a players tour. And I'm very happy, and we taken a jump almost 30% prize money from last year to I think that's the biggest jump, because all these boys work so hard to make a life, and if we can keep on increasing the prize money, I think that's what I look for. I think basically more South African, European, you can say from Thailand, from America, England, they can come and play our tour. That will be a cherry on the cake. That's what I'm looking for. For that, I think we need little more sponsor. We need more better courses, maintained courses. And if that we can do it, I think I'll be very, very happy. I think the golf is growing. If you look at last almost 5 years, golf has grown. When you say Raipur, a new Kargar come out, so good, wonderful place. I mean, Bombay is the place where should be more tournament, or you can say so many new places have come out. That shows people are ready, and the sponsor are ready to go to the smaller cities and show the golf.
Back to the action on hole number 17, the par 3.
Well, Stepan Danek has left himself nearly about 18 or 20 foot of a par over here from that right bunker. Tough pin position to stop the ball at from that location. Let's see what he does as Manu Gandas reaches the putt. He's about good 25 odd feet away from the flag.
One of the few holes where players do try and make birdie, only a short iron in hand. Maybe a 9 iron for the front flag and 8 iron depending on the wind. Back right pin position is the one which is quite difficult and inaccessible, but owing to the changes you can see that if you miss it on the wrong side, it is indeed difficult to get up and down.
Absolutely, as you can tell, you know, if you have a yardage of, let's say, about 152 yards to this flag location, even if you hit the ball pin high to the right, you're actually going to land yourself in the beach, which is the bunker, and that's going to be a tough up and down from there, because everything sort of runs away from you from there.
Yes, indeed. And we see stellar golf once again from Yuvraj, who is just saving the best for last. 6 under par, especially on this setup today with the way the golf course is playing. And that is indeed praiseworthy. So as is Rashid Khan and Manu Gandas as well. 4 unders by the both of them.
You know, absolutely commendable show by Yuvraj, of course, you know, with 6 birdies on that scorecard today and playing bogey free. And another bogey free round is being played by Manu Gandas. You know, it's not an easy course to be playing bogey free on. That's number one. And number two, what is really impressive about Yuvraj is that he's doing this week in and week out, you know, like a machine.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The way that he's gone about his business is indeed exemplary. As we have a look at Manu here on hole number 17. This green is really enjoyable to putt on, really slick. Give you an idea of what it might be like to putt on Augusta, almost there, playing to about 10.2, but with the slopes and the sort of dry conditions, they really do roll quick.
Let's see how does Manu fare from this distance. Manu putting for birdie here on the 17th, this to go to 6 under par.
Should break a little from his left and gather speed right towards the end. And I think a decent effort right there. Just about ran out of steam, but good effort nevertheless.
I think that's a pretty good putt. He's missed it on the low side though. Should not be more than 2 feet away. I think speed control was absolutely prime.
A brilliant round by Rohit Besoya as well. 5 under par today, and Mohammad Sanju unfortunately sort of running out of steam right at the end, finishing up with a 3 under par. At one point in time was 6 under. Shitid Navid call also 2 under for the day. But for majority of the field, it's again proven to be a difficult golf course with quite a few high scores.
Stepan Danek now putting for a par.
This has been one of the most difficult weeks in recent memory.
Absolutely. I think, you know, the Delhi Golf Club can feel
like a pretty tough course to play on. Stepan Danek, unfortunately, not finding the bottom of the cup over there. Would drop a shot, moving into the final hole of this penultimate round.
Normally I remember that we used to say it's probably for the shorter, maybe the mid-type accuracy player, but after the relaying of the greens, it sort of leveled the playing field once again. A lot of the players who used to sort of gain favor here, the mid sort of striking, maybe even the shorter hitters, now find the golf course a lot more difficult because the relaying of the greens has changed everything. You require higher ball flight, you require more precision, and of course you require length as well, because you need to be coming in at the ideal angle. As you look at Shaurya here now.
Shaurya putting for a birdie over here, has just come off a bogey on the tough 16th hole. 16th also is really a mover and shaker kind of hole over here at the Delhi Golf Club, and that certainly was a low side miss for Bhattacharya.
Yeah, that was a little bit on the underside. You'd want for him to miss it on the higher side, but probably didn't get enough break on that one. But talking about the 16th, it is indeed a very difficult hole. It's especially with that new rough which has been added on the right hand side.
It's absolutely, I think the 16th definitely is one of the toughest holes out here. In fact, the backline is very interesting here at the Delhi Golf Club. With the 15th hole also, that dogleg to the left, even though it seems like not much in terms of its yardage, it has its own fangs. And the 16th after that plays a dogleg to the right. Players have to hit about a 250 to 270 yard tee shot off the back of the tees, and it has to be placed on the left side of the fairway. If you haven't placed it on the left side of the fairway, there's a tree right in the middle of the fairway. Left of that is where players need to place it. If you missed it towards the right side, mind you, even if you're in play, you're going to be chipping it out back into the fairway.
Now Manu, just with a mere formality. And another thing is that these holes are very visually intimidating when you're standing on the tee. Many a times you might have to start it almost on the line of the bush and then try and draw it back. So it makes it a little difficult. Many of the holes don't allow you that sort of elbow room to hit those wide fades or the big draws. You have to sort of keep it on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, back onto that 16th hole, what we were talking about just a few moments ago. Dhruv Sharan now, he's on the left side of the hole. So got about a nearly 25 footer over here. Seems to have found some sort of a line from the left of the hole. Just signaling that out to himself to confirm it. Having a bit of a tete-a-tete with his caddy, and that was some great camera work over there as a cameraman found a parrot sitting pretty right in the middle of a tree. And back to Dhruv Sharan.
Trying to crane over there and try to get a better vantage point to see which way the ball will break.
Let's see if Sharan has found something over here of use. Maybe a bit too firm over there for Dhruv. I think he's hit that a bit hot, if I may. He'll have about 4 feet left.
What do you think really separates Yuvraj from the rest of the field? We've seen his play over the last few years, not just this year, just overall. Like he's been really, he has that penchant for shooting deep rounds. But is it? I mean, you obviously told me about the way he putts, but that there's a lot more to it, I guess.
Absolutely, Shaurya, and it's. I think that there's a lot of grit in there. There's a lot of hunger in there, and that's what that's the stuff that is not visible to people. We can see how the putter moves, we can see how the ball goes, but it's the grit, the determination, the hunger that he possesses that is not really visible to the outsider.
So there you have it. It's a lot of metal, it's a lot of grit. I think it's also a lot of exuberance that he has. It's a lot of flair. He does have that swagger about him, and it's just about a man who has this game under control. Not quite. That has gone a begging. Rashid Khan.
It should be a par though for Yuvraj over here. 16th, of course, as we mentioned earlier. It requires really two astute shots, so to speak, from the tee as well as from the fairway. Otherwise, to find yourself in a location as what Yuvraj was, I think he was just under 15 feet for a birdie attempt.
Rashid Khan, he would have had a good read thanks to Yuvraj's putt. So comfortable with the putter is Rashid. Makes it look really easy, the art of putting. That's a club that has wielded him a lot of success.
Dhruv Shuran now putting for a par here. This ball should break a little bit from the right to the left, but should be well within the hole. I think a right inside putt is what would be required.
I think the way the greens are, it's imperative that you be a little assertive from this range. Can't quite let them die in. And there you saw a firm, aggressive putt as we head into a commercial break.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन. इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं.
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस. थकान वाली प्यास के लिए.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कर आता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
Back to the action now at hole number 17. It's been a beautiful day's golf, and Yuvraj is pretty much in the driver's seat, as he often is. I'd say not just this year, but the last few years. He's been a dominant force in Indian golf and even internationally. Now he's getting better. You know, I'd look for him to do some great things abroad.
100%. I think that Yuvraj must have had a lot of learning from his previous experiences of playing abroad, and of course the way he's poised right now, he should be found mostly on the DP World the coming year. We take a look now at Rashid Khan coming up on the 17th hole.
That should really work well. Brilliant shot by Rashid. He's also a very confident player when he's on song. Doesn't take much time, and very certain, very self-assured the way he plays golf. A very unique swing as well, a little steep, and helps him hit the ball high.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, one of the things about Rashid is that he's pretty much a self-taught golfer, and he's extremely good with his hands, as many golfers are. Most golfers, in fact, the top of the world, are really good with their hands, and he creates a lot of speed with those hands. Another thing about Rashid is that, you know, everyone thinks of him as like a thin frame. He's extremely flexible as well, and that helps him to create that X factor in his golf swing and create that speed with his hands.
Yeah, I've played cricket. We used to play a lot of cricket 3-4 years ago with a leather ball, and I've actually seen him hit sixes and take those big dives on the ground, and so he's very athletic, and as you said, has the ability to generate a lot of speed. So, you know, it's eventually about that what kind of speed can he generate, and that helps you in the game of golf. Of course, a player that is no stranger to speed and has got a lot of need for speed is Yuvraj Sandhu.
Sandhu now on the 17th hole. Let's see if he can set himself up for another birdie opportunity. What a round it's been thus far. 6 under par for the day.
Now this would be interesting to note if he goes right at the flag. I think it's quaint conditions, might be going with an 8 iron. this flag would play to about 172, 173 yards. And look at that, right on top of the flag.
Absolutely, a dart game kind of a shot, and
Yeah.
stopped it pretty much as quick as possible.
Yeah.
With what we've been seeing on the golf course, he stopped it really quickly. And as we get acquainted with some updates, Dhruv Shoran actually dropped a shot on the 16th hole, so he moves down to 2 under par for the tournament as he now takes on the task of attacking the 17th hole flag location on the front portion of the screen.
A very stylish golf game that he possesses. Very athletic. Physicality as well. Is the breed of new golfers. It's the ball a country mile. Works a lot on his game, especially the mental aspect of the game as well. I've had the good fortune of playing a lot of golf with Dhruv.
Shoran should be going with anything between a pitching wedge and a 9-iron on this hole.
She's coming up a little short, but that's good. That's about working. That's working really well as we speak. It's the closest to the flag. So another brilliant shot right there. So we're looking at the cutaways from early in the day. It's just another way of seeing the action, the way the players react to certain few things, and of course we're able to bring to our viewers different way of looking at the game. What's your thought on just general play and slow motion replays, and how do you find that?
I mean, it's absolutely important. It's this is, as coaches, it's important for us to see a lot of slow motion action, and it helps us to sort of break down and analyze all of the golf swings and all of the action that happens biomechanically as well as during the motion of the swing. So, for us guys, this is an absolutely important facet.
Yes, the ability to look at things as they slow down, and somebody who's not intent or has no no intent at all of slowing down is Yuvraj Sandhu. If he holds this, he goes to 7 under for the day.
And I'd place my bets on him making this putt. Actually, it's not an easy putt by any means. This ball is going to break a lot from the left to the right. Tough putt to judge in terms of speed. I think the line pretty much would be visible to them, but it's a very tough putt to judge the speed as you really go from a side hill, and the grass kind of changes texture in the middle, so it becomes tough for the player to judge. Let's see which players from this group end up making a birdie after those really absolutely amazing tee shots.
I think Rashid is. I'd put my money on Rashid because he'll see the line once again, so there'll be no mystery whatsoever. And the easiest part out of the lot is definitely Dhruv's uphill, breaking a little bit from the right. And maybe it looks can be deceiving, but it's definitely breaking from the right, so that for a right-handed player is always more preferred than the left to right putt. Can be a little more aggressive. So let's see how it works out. On the back right flag, what was your choice of shot? Were you attacking this flag, or were you playing about 10 feet left?
Well, I was always trying to fade that ball in from a little bit left of the flag and try to bring it back. Although I must tell you that this hole has an uncanny ability to make you miss it to the right. And that's really the worst place to be because there is no room on the right side of this green.
Yeah, the bunker is not too bad, but anywhere else is kind of difficult. Now let's have a look at this one. Our money is for this to go in the hole and for Yuvraj to move it to 7 under par.
Sandhu to move to 9 under with this.
Oh, that was a very aggressive putt that's gone a fair distance past.
A bit of knee knocking also didn't really help. But
that's one of the perils of putting on fast greens. If you're feeling confident and you go for it, then you could be facing another one coming back.
And of course, now Rashid should have a good idea in that putt, especially about the speed of that putt.
Rashid, the one thing I like, especially about the way that he putts, is he has this innate ability to be able to gauge the line really well. He has doesn't really fluster about too much on the green or take too much time, but he understands it really well. His green reading ability is also top tier, along with his stroke, and that allows him to sort of marry the two things: certainty of line and aggression in the way that he approaches putting.
100%, and let's see what Rashid does from here now. He's got nearly about 10 or 12 feet for a birdie. The ball's going to break a lot from the left to the right, and kind of gets really fast as it moves closer to the hole.
But this putt deserves respect. And maybe a little bit too much respect, just sneaking away right at the end. Having a word with his man Friday there. That went a-begging, so Rashid Khan would remain at the same score.
Let's see what Dhruv Shoran does now. He's got a putt for birdie, just coming off a bogey on the 16th. Let's see if Dhruv can get one shot back.
Akshay Sharma also finished in a flurry. He's 3 under par and 4 under total, the golfer from Chandigarh.
Sharma is also a strong player here on the PGTI. He's not completely a veteran, but has been playing professional golf for quite a few years and has done brilliantly, I must say.
Now let's see if after those two putts having been missed on the lower side, both Yuvraj and Rashid, let's see if Dhruv was able to gauge something about his putt, kind courtesy his playing partners. Yes, he was. What a beautiful putt right there in the heart of the hole.
Well, Dhruv now picking up that shot back from the golf course. Moves to 3 under par for the tournament. Still 5 shots away from Yuvraj Sandhu.
He's put that about, if my eyes tell me the truth, maybe looks about 4.5 odd feet.
Yeah, probably a touch longer than that. This is going to be an important putt for him to continue his bogey-free run on the course.
Normally you see that if a player hits the first one really far, he's a little more tentative with the next one, but you need to do the opposite. You need to be aggressive with this one coming back.
100%, and that's a nice tidbit takeaway for all of our viewers. And let's see what Yuvraj does. Yuvraj usually takes these ones firm.
Look at that, right in the heart of the cup. He's really on song, is Yuvraj. It'll be interesting to note the club of choice on 18. Is he going to go for this green in 2?
Well, brilliantly done, and I think Yuvraj would take it on in 2, so he has another chance now on the 18th hole to move another shot away from the field.
Do you think he can get there with 2 irons?
I think so. I think a lot of players in this field will get to the 18th green with 2 irons. As this winter weather makes the course a lot harder as well, so the ball tends to roll a little bit more. Also, with the sun out nice and bright, the course is playing a little firmer, so you could certainly get to 2 irons on. Let's take a look now at Manu Gandas. A nice view here of his putting stroke.
Has that misses that. Has the stance a little narrower than most of the other players. Maybe accentuate that sort of pendulum effect that you get in putting. As we draw to a close almost here, we only have one group which is yet to play the 17th. That is the leader group. And from the leader group, we've had Enthanga Raja, who is 3 over par. Viraj Madappa, as well 3 over par. Jairaj Sandhu, 2 over par. So the leader group has not really moved up. It's been a day of moving down on the moving day for our trio.
Yes, Biraj continuing his campaign here on this penultimate round. Currently even par for the day, 2 under par for the tournament. Hasn't really gained any momentum on the day. And of course, his playing partners, Thanga Raja, very unlike him, made 3 bogeys and no birdies today.
And now underway on 17, the final group for the day. And now that is a shot and then some.
A brilliant shot here by Viraj, setting himself up for yet another birdie now on this hole.
Yeah, that ball had a lot of purchase on it. No roll whatsoever. Came to a dead stop.
Absolutely stopping on the dime to another level. And then Thanga Raja now. Thanga needs to get something going. He's got 2 holes remaining, 17th and the 18th. Let's see if he can pick up a shot or 2 back from the course and keep himself in the position of contention. As we now get my co-commentator Shivas Nath back into the commentary booth. And great shot here by Enthanga Raja as we get Shivas now to commentate the rest of the day's proceedings.
3 beautiful shots. This seems like this hole is one that the players are looking forward to, a birdie opportunity. The flag on 18 being in the front right, of course, if you miss it, difficult up and down, but I'd say makes the hole a little shorter. So I'd say one that the players would prefer here on hole number 18. Helps, especially the longer hitters can get up there all the way to the front edge with 2 lusty blows. They can get there. And you're able to keep that bunker also safely away. And it's been a beautiful day, a wonderful day at the Delhi Golf Club.
Well, thank you, Rahul, and thank you, Rahul. It's good to be back, and it's a lovely visual, Shaurya, of our 18th and 5th greens, and of course, again, this one of the most picturesque holes, the 17th. A lot of activity going on. Yuvraj firmly at the top, and of course, PGTI President, Mr. Kapil Dev, is in the house, and I hear from a very reliable birdie that Rahul Bajaj has some information on the PGTI League. Shaurya?
Well, I'd say that both of us have a little bit of information on the league.
Yeah, you know the guy who knows the guy, right?
I mean, yeah, like the big old Italian mafia. But yes, it's the league called 72. The league is the country's first exclusive national professional golf league. And it will feature city-based franchises, each comprising 10 professional players, selected through a transparent player auction scheduled for January 26. So, and the league will tee off on 21st Feb, with the finals scheduled for 6th of March. So it's going to be really exciting, and it's going to be taking place across 3 of Delhi NCR's most prestigious golf courses, JP Kothubin Classic. So it's indeed going to be very exciting.
No, definitely. It's really going to give the game a big push. And I was just in the clubhouse, and Kapil Paji walked in, and there was a lot of questions that he was being asked. So the news is already big. It's getting out there, and sounds like a fun 2-week rodeo. 21st Feb to 6th March, and like as you rightly said, it's only going to be getting bigger and better, and more and more money. So all in, definitely looks like good days ahead.
Yeah, as we have a look at Jairaj, Three beautiful shots on this hole. Jairaj Singh Sandhu. 1 under for the tournament. And 2 over for the day. Let's see if we can hold this one. It's looking good. Just ran out of steam. You can tell by the look of exasperation, it's been that sort of a day for Jairaj.
This young man has struggled. Today just trying to hold on and keep pace with what's happening. Definitely a worthy first round leader, but definitely is struggled out of the blocks. In fact, the entire leader group from this morning, Jairaj, Thangaraja, and Viraj, all just been a bit out of sorts with themselves and their golf game today.
But the good thing is that he's been able to claw back with 2 birdies on the back 9. So that's what you like to see, because this is a golf course where drop shots will happen even to the best. So you want to keep yourself a little even keeled and look at the larger picture, so to speak.
So very interestingly, the PGTI League, which we just spoke about.
What a putt right there.
That was a solid putt, yes,
by
indeed.
N. Thangaraja.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a bounce in his step again, huh? That's nice.
Yeah, so that's
it's good to see him in the mix. Delightful fellow. And generally speaking, I think all Sri Lankan friends and Sri Lankan players are all happy campers. They all have a bit of energy and a bit of bounce, and just absolutely loving their time plying their trade in India. So back to the PGTI League, of course. As Shaurya mentioned, this is going to be played through in February and early March. And interestingly, Game of Life, a new company recently formed, Delhi-based, by a couple of people who are deeply involved with running leagues and also run the Kutub League very successfully, of which, of course, I've been a part. So Amit Kharbanda and Saman Sikka, well done, folks. Great job. And the league commissioner will be Mr. Amrit Mathur. And definitely a lot of news out there in the golfing circles. Good for the game.
Exactly, as we see that ball underway on hole number 18. Yuvraj with that iron from there. It'll be an interesting shot to see now. Let's see if Dhruv is actually going for it. It seems like he is, because that doesn't seem like a lofted club. So out of the rough, he's taking this on, maybe going with a 5 iron, trying to chase that up. He has that ability to hit that iron, go 230 odd yards and run it up. Let's see how that works out.
Well,
what an absolute beauty. That was a really nice shot right there.
Absolutely, the couple of interesting strategies that can be put in play on the 18th hole. It all works based on your strength. This one chasing up, and sometimes it turns away. Rashid's looking a little forlorn, probably asking to stop before it gets into the green side left bunker.
But that's a good shot, nevertheless, from
He's
the
not
rough.
happy. And that's an interesting pin position today. It's just on the front bottom of the peninsula.
That's what players are looking for, to make an eagle.
Hawkeyes, Hawkeyes. And, it's amazing the kind of wildlife and, the natural habitat here, Shaurya, at the Delhi Golf Club. Very well preserved, I must say, by the club members and the management. It's really a beautiful, glorious visual.
Love for wildlife really does run deep here at the Delhi Golf Club. We've seen that they've done a great job at preserving a lot of flora and fauna all throughout.
No, indeed. Even in the evenings, the Neel guys, you see them crossing over, particularly the 18th fairway and the 8th fairway on the B course, as we call it, the Peacock course. So for final, this is the second last. Up to the terrace. Enough time. That's it. Well, it's good that they're getting their round done today, Shaurya, in good time, because some more visual delight. Oh, that is cute. Another one popping out. We spoke about their natural habitat. You have it right here. These are just beautiful sights. Great camera work, I must say.
Yes.
Beautiful work by the team.
And it's been that type of day. It's been really nice, mesmerizing, and quaint here at the Delhi Golf Club. As we see our penultimate group here.
Yes, this 18th hole, the green is of course 39 yards deep. But the flag today just sitting on the front of the peninsula. In terms of the Indian map, which is what the 18th green in a sense looks like, it's sitting firmly in Tamil Nadu. Just cut 7 yards from the front and just 4 from the right. And that is a bit of a suck-up in position, if I may add, Shaurya, because there's no room of give on either side of that flag.
Yeah, I think it's, as I said, it's a little more accessible in terms of length because it makes the hole a little shorter. So it's preferred that way by medium hitters. For the longer hitters, probably a back pin position because they're having to work with more room.
For the ball to run through, right?
Exactly. But yes, of course, chipping here in this narrow sliver is, of course, not easy at all.
Not at all. We're going to see what these boys come up with here. It's nice to see, well, the weather's been good today. The sun is out in its fullest glory. Well, the temperature is now at a very comfortable 23, 24 degrees. And overall, it's probably been a good week to have a professional golf event here at Delhi Golf Club. No question about that.
Yuvraj now, he possesses the deft touch around the green, and he's going to have to utilize all of that here.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yuvraj is a very solid all-round game.
So you see he'll keep the club head outside the hands, trying to get under the ball and
use the bounce as well.
Exactly. This is not the easiest shot. It's very difficult to try and get it up in the air, generate the spin, and also keep the distance under control. But if anybody can do it, it's this man on your screens. That's to utilize the bounce as well.
That looks well executed, sensible.
Yeah, that's a good enough shot. Leaves it about 10 feet.
Yep.
Wasn't the easiest shot by any measure.
So quick word again about our title sponsor, Vishwa Samudra. This is the second Vishwa Samudra Open being hosted at the Delhi Golf Club. Of course, it's presented by our PGTI president, Mr. Kapil Dev. And indeed, this tournament is the richest one on our calendar.
What a
2
shot
crores.
by Rashid Khan. And should be able to make birdie and get a shot closer to Yuvraj if he were to
and
not
Yuvraj,
make it.
of course, has every opportunity to do that himself as well. And of course, joining us in the commentary booth is our media head, Mr. Nikhil Kalan. I'm going to, Shaurya, put Nikhil on the hot seat, and you can ask him a few questions about the PGTI League.
Yeah, it's
that
great.
They have just announced.
It's a great day for.
Congratulations, Nikhil, and let our viewers know a little bit more about this much-awaited, exciting development.
Yeah, it's a great day for Indian golf and a watershed moment indeed with the league finally happening. And
thank you, Shivas.
Of course, Nikhil will be able to run us through that, and a great moment indeed as we have a look at the penultimate group on hole number 18. So, Nikhil, you want to tell us a little bit about the exciting developments?
Oh, it's a big announcement, new era for Indian golf, and details will unfold over the next 1 month. But as of now, it's called 72 the League. It was launched today at a press conference with Mr. Kapil Dev present, our president PGTI, and Mr. Amandeep Johal, the CEO of PGTI. So good news for golfers. There'll be 6 teams and city-based franchises like you have in other leagues across other sports. And leagues always manage to pull in more fans, add new segments of audiences, and that's what we're expecting.
Yes, I think it's going to be exciting. You'll have a lot of competition, camaraderie, and what that will engage a lot of viewers as well. And it's going to be exciting. All of us are waiting with bated breath for that as we look at Yuvraj, who's hit a really nice chip shot from under the green. And this putt, maybe all of about 8 or 9 feet, is quite essential to maintain that 2-shot lead over Rashid Khan. Currently, Yuvraj sits at 8 under par, and if Rashid is to make his putt, which I think is a mere formality, then I think he'll have to fight fire with fire.
That's right. Yuvraj back at the top after that heartbreak last week in Jaipur. He's been able to put these disappointments behind. Importantly, you know, he's had two losses in playoffs, consecutive losses, and he's come back after that winning in Assam.
And that putt also missing on the lower side, so the last 2 putts have sort of missed in the similar fashion, so he would remain at 8 under par, and if Rashid were to make his birdie, then he'd have a 1-shot lead. Nevertheless, he's played a valiant round of golf. You know, this is the archetypal moving day. This is how you play on the moving day. 66, 6 under par on these very trying conditions. I doff my hat to him as we have a look at the very talented Dhruv Sharon. Dhruv Sharon with this putt breaking from right to left. He's also done really well. He's been on the up. One of the fresh crop of players over the last 3-4 years. You've seen him. He's improved a lot, and one of the players that we can really look forward to in the years to come.
Absolutely. Dhruv is a winner on the PGTI, and he's been doing well this year. He made a mark.
But you know, these greens are not easy to navigate this week for the players. Really slick. You can see that putt. He went for it, and it's rolled about 3.5, 4 feet ahead. So he'll have a little bit of work on that one. Now Rashid Khan.
That's right.
Should be able to clean up for his birdie. You know, this has been happy hunting ground for Rashid. He's had a lot of success here in this venue.
Yes, he's grown up playing here.
And should break a little bit from his right. Yeah, easy does it. Makes short work of that one and moves to 7 under par. Just a solitary shot behind our leader Yuvraj.
Closing the gap with the leader. And I was mentioning Dhruv, he performed well here at the DP World India Championship, one of the top performing Indians that week. So he has a sense of things at the Delhi Golf Club.
Yeah, he sure does. He was really, that was a brilliant performance by him at the DP World. One of our breakout players that week.
That's right. And white and blue, one of his favorite combinations.
And he's done well. So holds that putt. Dhruv still within striking distance for this tournament. Remains at 3 under par. Yuvraj, of course, is in pole position. And in his wake are the rest of the top 5 players. I'd say that anybody who's in red numbers at this point in time has a very realistic shot at this tournament. You know, fortunes can change in an instant here at the Delhi Golf Club. We've seen it all many times before.
That's right.
Now Yuvraj Sandhu cleaning up for his par. What a round. 6 under par. And the fact is he left a few shots out there. Could have been a lot deeper. Tells you about the ability that this player has.
Kept his card clean. He's back in the hunt. Yuvraj.
He's in familiar territory. He is the top dog, so as to speak. He's the driving forces of Indian golf, and he's at the forefront once again. Now the leader from last night, left-handed southpaw, really going after it, going hell for leather. Let's see how that works out. That was a lot of brute strength by Jairaj, and he's been able to muscle that up all the way to the green. So he has a lot of strength, huh?
What do you make of that follow through, Shaurya? That was something I've not seen often.
Well, that is when you're giving it more than 100% because the ball would have been nestled a little down in the rough. The rough is patchy. The ball can get nestled in, and then you require all of that muscle strength to be able to get it all the way till the green. And so he was there playing an aggressive play, so had to give it all. Reminds you a little bit of Tiger of the years gone by.
Now you have Thangaraja from Sri Lanka.
And Thanga just leaving it a tad short, and that will find its way coming back almost 15-20 feet below the green. So that's an error that you don't want to make.
Right. Shaurya also familiar with these greens, with this layout, having played here a number of times.
Yes, very recently as well. And I tell you that these shots, they look fairly straightforward, but they're shrouded by danger on either side. Now, if Viraj also leaves this shot, it has the ability of coming back all the way down about 15-20 feet short. So you need to be a little aggressive with this one.
And he's seen success on this course, having won here. He has the lowest winning total here, 14 under 274, Viraj Madappa. Let's see how it goes for him.
He's gotten under that really beautifully. Oh, what a shot. What a beautiful shot. Dropping it on a dime. That's really brilliant. He has the power, he has the prowess, and he also has that touch.
Pinpoint precision. That should be a tap-in.
Viraj Madappa there with the Midas touch would move to 3 under par. And that, I think, should do enough for him to move into the second leader group. The leader group, I think, will comprise of Yuvraj, Rashid, and Manu Gandas tomorrow.
That's right, a star-studded lineup on the final day. That's what awaits us.
A marquee group. The best of Indian golf. And, of course, I mentioned Mukesh Kumar, the legend, having shot 3 under yesterday as Nikhil takes our leave. We look at hole number 18. It's been a stellar week thus far, the third day, the moving day here at Delhi Golf Club. And the players have delivered. And so has the golf course. I must appreciate the way the greenskeepers and everybody else in the committee have got this week together. Not the easiest season, the winters, in order to maintain and present a golf course. And all the players have really enjoyed it. Now let's have a look at Jairaj after that shot which he muscled to the front left. Now you can see that the change in elevation right there. It's about a good 3.5 feet above the level from which he's hitting. And the ball will have a tendency to get away from him and roll a lot more. So let's see how he does on this one. Once again, attack is the best form of defense, especially in the short game here at Delhi Golf Club. Needs to be assertive with this one. Has played the chip and run route and has done it to perfection. What a beautiful shot. Shows you that Jairaj indeed has a lot of metal. He started off a little shaky, 4 over through the first 11 holes, but made birdie on hole number 12, 13, and what appears to be a birdie on hole number 18. So that would move him to 2 under, pretty much in the thick of things. Now we have a look at Thanga. We saw him with that short shot, leaving it in the jaws, and then that spun back. Lucky for him, it didn't quite spin back all the way, so still has an opportunity to try and chip this one inside the hole. Has opted for the flag to be removed, and that a little too aggressive. Now we'll have that 3.5 footer coming back, a downhill 3.5 foot putt for N. Thangaraja. And we must also mention all the associates, the partners, the sponsors who make it possible. It takes a lot of effort to get an event of this stature together. Of course, our title sponsors, Vishwa Samudra, making the magic happen for the second year. And this tournament has gone on to be a resounding success, thanks to all who are associated, and of course, the PGTI team and Mr. Kapil Dev. And Thangaraja now for his par. And Thangaraja is at 3 under par, 2 over for the day. A very prolific player based from Sri Lanka. 2 victories this year. And cuts a picture of modesty even after all his laurels. He's very even-keeled. Came from humble backgrounds. Rose to the very top of professional golf and has done his country proud. Now plies his trade on the Professional Golf Tour of India, and one of the leading players on tour for the last few years, as he tries to make this putt for par, and unfortunately he would drop a shot. So that is in football terminology, that's an own goal, so as to speak. Taking 4 shots from 50 yards, he'd be a little crossed with himself, and that would take him back to 2 under par. But that's the masterful design by Gary Player. These greens, they invite you to try and make birdie, but if you're not precise, then a shot can go by in the blink of an eye. As we have a look at Jairaj. Jairaj, we saw him at that stellar second shot, really aggressive, and now has that 3.5 footer for his birdie. We saw him with that chip shot, and he does well, does Jairaj. Finishes in style with a birdie, and that would be good enough to get to 2 under par. So it's been a really nice day here, the third day, moving day from the Delhi golf course. The players have delivered. And Yuvraj Sandhu leading the tournament. And 6 under par for the day and 8 under for the tournament. Please do stay with us. Please do stay with us while we take you out on the golf course to have a word with Rahul Bajaj and Mr. Shivasnath.
What an interesting day it has been here at the Delhi Golf Club, right in the heart of Delhi at the Vishwa Samudra Open 2025, presented by none other than Kapil Dev. Yuvraj Sandhu moving on to 8 under par and leading the tournament with a 6 under par round today, a bogey-free round. And we have Rashid Khan at 7 under par, right on his tail, and Manu Gandas at 5 under par. What a lovely moving day this has been. Couldn't be a better case for the final day coming up just tomorrow. I'm joined alongside here by Shivas Nath. And Shivas, what are your thoughts on the day today?
Thank you, Rahul, and it's been outstanding. What a great venue for a contest like this. Yuvraj, of course, as I infer to him, is an absolute steam engine, a class act, playing solid golf and absolutely stamping his authority across the field and the order of merit leader. And Rashid, running him close, mercurial player, capable of pretty much anything on any given day. And let's not forget, Rashid knows this course very well. He's grown up and been supported by the Delhi Golf Club during his formative years. So definitely the weather gods being very cooperative, and the course in great condition for this time of the year. Kudos to Delhi Golf Club, and of course to PGTI and Vishwa Samudra for putting this event together. So definitely a shootout, an exciting one up ahead tomorrow.
Well, the Delhi Golf Club has its own way of making things interesting, and with Yuvraj Sandhu leading the way at 8 under par and Rashid Khan right on his tail, just 1 shot away, it is sure to be an interesting day tomorrow. And having said that, as our co-commentator Shaurya Singh, as well as Nikin Kalan from the PGTI just announced, the great league which the PGTI has just announced, what are your thoughts on that, Shivas?
I think it's a great development. PGTI being the apex body for professional golf in India has taken it upon themselves to grow the game, put their money where their mouth is. You know, kudos to the president, Mr. Kapil Dev, and our CEO, Amandeep Johal. And I think Indian golf is in a great space and set to grow, as it has this year again. We've had a number of new venues, a number of new sponsors, a number of new events, and not to forget, a huge increase in the prize money. So, great for golf.
Absolutely, and Indian golf now going from strength to strength. The PGTI, with the number of tournaments that it has hosted this year, taking the prize money, you know, penny folds this very season in 2025. And of course, we are looking at an even stronger 2026 season. This has been one of the most exciting years for professional golf in the country, with you know, the likes of Rory McIlroy as well as Tommy Fleetwood showing up in here to play, in fact, at this very track in the heart of Delhi at the Delhi Golf Club. This has been an extremely exciting year, and as you know, we move into the final day of the Vishwa Samudra Open tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I request you all to join us again here for the live telecast at the Delhi Golf Club. And you know, this is going to be an extremely interesting day tomorrow of you know, great golf. A lot of birdies are going to be thrown around on the golf course. I'm looking at somewhere around 11 to 12 under par being the winning score. What do you think, Shivas?
Well, you're always the betting man, putting me on a spot, and I love that. It makes me enjoy our conversations more. So yes, I would say the leaders, of course, are out there, but I wouldn't entirely rule out the erstwhile leaders after round 2. Thangaraja's had a not-so-great day, and Viraj, of course, is again a very solid young player. And let's see. And, of course, Gerard Sandhu, again, a good golfer. So I'd say it's going to be a terrific day. And, yes, I think you got to pick whether it's 10 or 11, because whatever you pick, I'm picking the other one.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, we are looking forward to an exciting day tomorrow with Yuvraj Sandhu leading the way at 8 under par and Rashid at 7 under par, alongside Manu Gandas trailing at 5 under par. It's going to be an extremely interesting day tomorrow, one of the final day tomorrow of the Vishwa Samudra Open here at the Delhi Golf Club. Please join us again live here at the same channel. This is me, Rahul Bajaj, signing off along with my co-commentators Shivas Nath as well as Shaurya Singh.